Yeah, Gerhard Struber is excited for the challenge ahead. He has been in the Championship before. He pulled off a minor miracle, really, keeping Barnes in it when they looked doomed. He's since been at the New York Red Bulls. He's been at Red Bull Salzburg. And remarkably, he was at Köln last season, got the sack with a team in the promotion places with 2 games left. They did still get promoted, but he got the sack. But he's got a decent record, Gerhard Struber. I think he could be a good appointment.
Yeah, he has, and sort of similar in terms of Sellers in a way to sort of the high press, the high tempo, the sort of vertical football. And it'd be interesting though, like slightly different in terms of Barnsley, I think, in the way that they'll want to possess the ball slightly more but still have that attacking threat. So yeah, I think for both clubs and both appointments has been, really exciting, and I think it's enough for both sets of fan base for the fans to get behind. But as we say, it's about winning games, it's about keeping the fans on side, and it starts today.
Yeah, it does indeed. It is worth bearing in mind Bristol City without O'Leary, Pring, McNally, Williams and Bird all out injured at the moment. The season about to begin then here at Bramall Lane. It's the red and white stripes, the black shorts and the black socks of Sheffield United who come out into the sunlight here. The Kop end away to our right is packed to the rafters. It's a change, dark blue and black strip for Bristol City. Their season ended here in heartbreak in the playoffs. Can they gain a little bit of revenge here? Pre-match handshakes underway. Conditions absolutely beautiful here at Bramall Lane. The sun has come out to shine. The crowd have emerged. We were a little bit worried, Courtney, a few minutes ago where they all were. They were all having a refreshment, get the last-minute nerves out of the way and get on with the season.
Yeah, they were. Just looking over to the right as well, a lovely banner. Bienvenido. Bramall Lane Ruben, so a big welcome from the Bramall Lane faithful to Ruben Sellers. But as we say, that happy welcome only lasts so long. There's an expectation here at Bramall Lane. You have to win games, you have to be pushing to progressing, obviously, to that Premier League. And yeah, it's an exciting time, but it comes with pressure.
Yeah, it has been an exciting afternoon. Earlier on, Charn left it late. 94th minute winner over Watford. Coventry 0, Hull City 0. You heard that on Talksport 2. On Talksport, Southampton left it late. 2 goals in injury time to beat Wrexham, 2 goals to 1. Middlesbrough have got their season up and running with a win at home to Swansea. Millwall have beaten Norwich. Portsmouth won at Oxford. Preston shared the spoils at QPR 1-1. Stoke beat Derby 3-1. And on Talksport 2 this afternoon with Danson Perry, who heard West Brom 1, Blackburn 0. There is more live football to come as tomorrow as well, as Leicester take on Sheffield Wednesday. But it's the red and white half of Sheffield that we're concentrating on tonight. It's the fourth commentary of the day. Talksport and Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. And what a way to get things back underway here at Bramall Lane. 2 teams who were in the top 6 last year. Can the Blades go close again to automatic? Or will it be the playoffs? And what about Bristol City? Can they build on that playoff push last year? Lot to be decided. An awful long way ahead of us. But everyone wants to get off to a winning start. Who's going to get the win and why, Courtney?
I'm going to go with Sheffield United. Not because of my former allegiances. I just think they're probably in a little bit of a better place. My prediction probably was a 2-1 win for Sheffield United. I still think that high line that they're playing and the bit of a makeshift back line will probably cause an issue. But yeah, Sheffield United for me will come out the winners today.
2 teams in a huddle. Bristol City away to our left-hand side. Run you through their lineup. They've got Radek Vitek, the Manchester United loanee goalkeeper, in goal. The back 3 of Atkinson, Viner and Tanner. It's Hirakawa, Randall, Knight and McCrory across the middle, with Anis Mehmeti and Scott Twine behind Emil Rees, who makes his debut. For the Blades, Cooper in goal. Sariki, Minden, Norrington Davis and Burrows are back 4. Brooks, Peck and Harmer across the middle, with O'Hare behind Campbell and Barry, who start up top. The Greasy Chip Buddy song rings around Bramall Lane for the first time in the new season. Will it be a winning start for Ruben Sellers? Or will Gerhard Struber get his Bristol City reign off with a win? We're about to find out here on Talksport 2. Pleasure to have you with us, whether you've been at a game this afternoon or you're just listening in on your travels. Set for what should be a good open game here, as the Blades defending the Kop end that's baked in sunshine away to our right. The Bristol City fans away to our left, and we are underway. The new season here at Bramall Lane is off and running, and a long ball forward. Brooks trying to get on the end of it, but it skips away, and it's an early goal kick for Bristol City. We can't moan about the conditions, Courtney. They are absolutely wonderful here tonight.
Yeah, great for us. Not so much for the players. It's one of those where, for fans, for us in the stadium, it's great. But especially when it's the first game back, you're probably 10 minutes in going to be blowing anyway. So, the last thing you need is the heat. But, this is what the players deal with. This is what they train for all pre-season and go on the warm weather camps.
Yeah, but they had tennis, and the first offside goes against Sheffield United, who are caught about 15 yards inside the Bristol City half. Looking at the two new managers down below us. Ruben Sellés is quite animated already. Gard Struber just looks on with his red baseball cap on. All out on the far side to Hirakawa. Just had to shield his eyes from the sun. Looks for the give and go edge of the penalty area. Bristol City on the attack. Have it midway inside the Blades half. They'll play it down that side again. The flag's gone up on the far side because the ball had gone out, and it stops a promising move for Bristol City. It'll be throwing over on that far side for Sheffield United, and the early feeling out process has already begun.
Yeah, it is, and it's interesting there. Just on the attack, McCrory, who's the right-sided wing-back, he was right on the edge of the Sheffield United box, and it's something we've seen in pre-season. I don't always pay too much attention to pre-season games, but we have seen it where the opposite full-back for Bristol City, they get on the end of the crosses and really involved with the attack. So it's obviously something in those wide areas that Sheffield United are really going to have to think about. Yeah.
Sidney Peck's just hobbling around a little bit in midfield. He just cleared a ball away, and it may be one of those block-type challenges that went in. I think he's struggling a little bit. He's just had a look over to the near side, and he's hobbling around a little bit. That'll be one that'll concern them. I was having a look at the team that beat Bristol City here in the playoffs. I think just 4 of them start. So big turnover in players. We mentioned not a lot of left, but it's still quite a much changed side to what maybe we would have expected. Here now is Harrison Burrows. Down the left he goes. Going to have to go back inside his own half. Finds Norrington Davis. We'll roll it across, and Michael Cooper all in a bright yellow goalkeeping strip. He has it on the edge of the D, and he's just waiting for things to unfold in front of him. A wall of 3 Bristol City players across the edge of the 18-yard box, looking to try and make it hard for the Blades to get out, but the Blades have been patient here. He does have his own style of play, Ruben Sellés. It worked to an extent at Hull. They just lacked the threat up top to make that work. They signed Louis Barry, of course, but he got injured 4 games in and barely featured. Here go Bristol City on the attack. Early chance for them on the edge of the area. There's a chance to play the ball here into the path edge of the box, and down there goes Scott Twine. Wanted too long on it. There's a challenge goes in. This will be a free kick, and that was Anis Mehmeti, who was brought down right on the edge of the D. Well, Twine wanted too long on the ball. Mehmeti didn't get a second on it, but a free kick right in front of goal. This is a great opportunity.
Yeah, especially for someone of Scott Twine's ability. We know what he's like from dead balls, but I love that from Mehmeti. Really clever. He knows he's got loads of pressure coming on him, so he shields the ball, uses his body, wants to face forward, try and get a shot off if he can, but knows if he gets the ball, protects it properly and faces forward, he's probably going to win the free kick, which he does. It's a wonderful little touch, the way he lets the ball come across his body and takes it initially with his left foot.
Looks like Scott Twine is going to line this one up. He is right in front of goal here, and he now is lining up the shot. There's a wall, there's the old draft excluder going in at the bottom of the wall. Every Sheffield United player is in line with a penalty spot across the goal, and Cooper is going to do well to see this one. Saw a stunning free kick earlier on, didn't we, as Southampton came from behind against Wrexham. Are we going to get one here? And it's going to be Twine who stood over it, and he comes up to it now, right-footed, whips it over the top and sticks it right in the top corner. What a start for Bristol City. Scott Twine leaves Cooper stood still. He finds the top corner, and Bristol City season is off and running with a stunner. Sheffield United 0, Bristol City 1.
Absolutely unbelievable technique. You probably don't think that the earlier free kick for Southampton in that game can be beaten, but I tell you what, it has top quality. There's probably not a better position, by the way, on the pitch to take this free kick in terms of probably 22 yards out. It's far enough away from the wall so you can get it up and down. It's just to the left hand side of central, but the way that he whips it over the wall and then right in that top left hand corner, there's absolutely nothing Michael Cooper can do about it. Sheffield United early on find themselves 1-0 down, but that is an exceptional free kick from Twine.
It is. Bristol City, who were thumped in both legs of the playoffs, well, they've got off to a great start here. Twine with a goal. His knee slide needs a bit of work. I'll say that. I've just seen that on the replay. It was a shocker, but his free kick. Too warm for
that. Every player should know that.
His free kick was outstanding. What a start here for the visitors. And Cooper, one of the best, if not the best in this division, had absolutely no chance there. And with less than 5 on the clock, it is the visitors who lead. Well, it was a dangerous free kick to give away, and Scott Twine made no mistake from 22 yards out. And Bristol City have got the lead, and that just a bit of a dampener on the home support here. So Bristol City fans, are quite a few of them as well away to our left, who've made the trip up north here today. Great start for them. Now, how does the game unfold from here? Long ball forward is thumped away by O'Hare, and briefly Radek Vitek came out and then just backs into his box and will pick it up as soon as Tyrese Campbell goes to close him down. Dream start then for Bristol City and Gerhard Struber. The ball is bowled out by Vitek towards the near side, where it's taken down by McCrory. He feeds it back, gets the ball back on halfway. Pass is well dealt with there by Adam Randall, new signing from Plymouth. Ball works out wide on the left, and forward come Bristol City again. This has been a pleasing start for them. They're the team in the ascendancy at the moment. They lead through that Twine free kick, and a belter it was too. Here's Viner, gets it forward, plays it into the gap. Twine now feeds it wide to McCrory, and McCrory comes forward. He had a bit of room to be a bit more adventurous there. He was, I want to say, a little bit cautious, but he would have been forgiven for going on the outside. He had plenty of room to run into. Now he gets it back, flicks it round the corner, and Burrows wins it back for Sheffield United. That wasn't a good pass. Twine wins it back. And the Blades at the moment, Courtney, they're on the back foot here.
Yeah, I mean, Bristol City, they're moving the ball so well. Such quick, play with the tempo. Obviously, the speed of thought as well. And they're really struggling, Sheffield United, with the wing-backs getting forward and overloaded in those wide areas. And again, just the runs from deep as well. Really struggling, Sheffield United, to get a hold of this game.
Here they are, and it is all the visitors at the moment. Here is it's McCrory who stayed forward. Finds Twine, edge of the box. He's got a chance here onto his left foot, and he puts it just over the top. And that was a huge chance. It did take a deflection, but you can hear the discontent around Bramall Lane. And Scott Twine there, you rather fancy if that was on his right foot, that would have been in the back of the net.
He has the opportunity to shoot with his right foot, but the angle's not right. But I still think if he moves his hips round it, he can take the shot on with his right foot. He just brings it across. It's probably the better idea, in all fairness, to bring it across to his left foot. He takes a shot on, but it's Femi Siriki that gets the vital block on it to make sure it travels over the bar.
There is discontent. What are we, 8 minutes into the new season already? The home fans are not happy. We mentioned that defence. We were wondering how it was going to work, but even in midfield, the Blades are getting overrun at the moment. And Bristol City are getting plenty of early ball. Can they add to their 1-goal lead here? You're live on Talksport 2. Twine will deliver near post. It's cleared away, and cleared away comfortably there by Brooks. And it's all the way inside the Bristol City half, and they'll eventually have to go back to Radek Vitek, who has had stints at Accrington, and he's been out on loan in Austria as well. The 21-year-old Manchester United Czechia goalkeeper. Here come the Blades, a first foray forward for them down the right. This is a good run, and they're going to earn a corner. That was more like it, and that was Andre Brooks on the prowl down that right touchline. Corner to the Blades.
Yeah, more of what this home faithful expect, and sometimes in a situation like that where you've been sucker punched early, you need someone like Andre Brooks did there just to take control of the game a little bit. Think, you know what, I'm just going to inject a little bit of excitement into the game. Takes a player on and they win a corner.
Can the Blades hit back? In swinging corner about to be delivered in. 1-0 Bristol City lead here But a chance. There's a bit of a wrestling going on the penalty spot. Norrington Davis tries to get on the end of it. It falls edge of the box. Nice bit of footwork. Here's Harmer. He's going to hit one. Tried to curl in shot. Peeled for a handball. Referee was having none of it. Here's Sariki now. Gets it out wide on that right. He's going to get it back. Is he onside? He is. And he's got time to pick out a red and white shirt. Puts the cross in towards the far post. Louis Barry, ball beaten away from him as he loitered with intent at the back edge of the penalty box. Here is Gustavo Harmer, the new captain here. And the ball on this near side. Blades have it. Their first real spell of possession. It comes 10 minutes into the match. Sheffield United 0, Bristol City 1. Live on Talksport 2. Ball given away. That was a poor pass. A really poor pass from Peck. And now the counter is on again. And there's a chance here. Rees wide. Tries to pull it back across goal. And it's cleared away nicely by Sheffield United. And they survive. But they are gambling here. They're giving the ball away a little bit too easily at the minute.
Yeah, and Bristol City by far look the sharper, both on and off the ball. They're just reading the play. When the ball's a little bit short from Sheffield United, there's always a Bristol City player there just to anticipate it, just to go with Nicky. And I know early on, and I mentioned earlier, probably take 3 or 4 games to get into your stride, but you know, Bristol City definitely look to have hit the ground running more so than Sheffield United.
Yeah, they have. The ball out over on the far side. The ball now hooked forward by Bristol City, who are looking to advance their way forward again. And, well, he's offside by a mile here, Mehmeti, and he goes to close it down. That will draw a whistle from the official. And now the ball being quickly moved forward here by Sheffield United, who are looking for a response here, and they need one. Here is an opportunity for Burrows. Feeds it in towards the edge of the area, and Campbell's got to be strong. He wasn't initially, but he did really well to win it back. That was good play. Here now is Barry into the left side of the penalty area. He tries to skip past the fullback there, but Tanner knocks it behind for another goal, another corner kick. But that was more like it. And Campbell, in the end, initially I thought he didn't do so well there, Courtney, but he did really well to win it straight back.
Yeah, he didn't. Initially, there's no doubt he should have done better, but the way that he reacts to go and win the ball back quickly, I think Twine was expecting the free kick, but not for me, and Campbell does really well.
Set piece opportunity for the Blades. All the big guns up from the back, everybody back from Bristol City. It's going to be an in-swinger from the near side. Harmer is going to whip this one in. Referee's not happy. He's seen something. He's just having a word with one of the Bristol City defenders there. Not sure what that was all about. It's going to be a corner for Sheffield United, who trail by a goal to nil. Ball delivered in near post, and it's thumped away. Well, for a player of his quality, you have to say that's disappointing from Harmer.
Yeah, we'll be really disappointed. They're trailing. Normally such a good technician. They've set it up. There's been a couple of variations now. Sheffield United, initially they started with a train with sort of 3 central down the penalty spot. That one, it was all the players at the back post area, but it doesn't even get anywhere near. It doesn't clear the first post defender.
No, never looked like beating the first post defender either, as a challenge goes in there. It's won back nicely by O'Hare. Now there's a chance. O'Hare drifting into the edge of the area. Oh, beautiful pass must be, and is, and it's slammed in by Tyrese Campbell, and we're all level. But Callum O'Hare with a magic touch, the most deft of touches into the path of Campbell, and he lashes it into the roof of the net. Sheffield United 1, Bristol City 1.
Excellent passage of play from Sheffield United, and that's what happens, you know, when they get on the ball, when they can move the ball quickly and get it into the likes of Campbell. But this is why I love O'Hare in these positions, because he's so calm and collected on the ball. He's got so much space. The little deft touch, he's probably about 20 yards out, just on the outside of the right foot. The weight on the ball is exceptional. And then Campbell, he does really well, doesn't think about it, just hits the back of the net. And especially when you think about Sheffield United and the poor run at the end of the season that not just Campbell had, but all of the forwards, he'll be so happy to get off the mark quickly.
Yeah, the weight of the pass, as here goes Barry down the left, and he's advancing forward, skips in and out, but the ball taken away from him and played up towards halfway. Twine will bring it down midway side his own half, and now it's laid back. And it's played forward, looking for the long ball. There's going to be a chase here. Cooper's stayed at home. And it just took an awkward bounce momentarily there for Tyler Bindon, the new loan signing from Nottingham Forest. New Zealand international, did really well and Sheffield United have it back. You'll know as a striker, the weight of that pass, it was perfectly in his stride. He didn't have to do anything other than put his foot through it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you dream about. You don't want to be having to, stop your run or maybe shuffle back, reshuffle your feet. Those ones where you can just step onto it, they're the ones that you want from your teammates, and perfect from O'Hare. And I think he was sort of, who knows what went on in training, but unfortunate towards the end of the season, didn't have a bigger part in the squad as I would have thought, but brilliant from O'Hare there.
Yeah, here's Barry. Barry skips down the left-hand side into the area. Oh, just stood on it, but he'll get it back. Here's Harrison Burrows. He's going to whip a ball in. It hit the defender at the near post, and it should be cleared away. It comes off a Sheffield United player, but somehow Bristol City are allowed to bring it forward. Reese plays it back, and then there's a lovely interception there from Bindon, who did well under pressure. It looked like he was going to lose it. He keeps it, and here come the Blades again. What a start. 1-1 here, 15 on the clock, live on Talksport 2. Barry onto his right foot, thought about hoisting across back in towards the far post, just lays it back now for Peck. Peck will move it wide. Here's Sariki now, 25 yards out from goal. Neat little turn, buys him a bit of space, finds Harmer, moves it wide, level with the edge of the penalty area. Harmer has it back again, and he looks to play it through. Oh, it's a beautiful pass. Sariki into the box, but just overran it. Couldn't quite get it under his control. But again, it's neat football from Sheffield United. Now they're starting to get some ball. They're starting to look really dangerous.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. And going into the 17th minute, and bearing in mind probably for the first 10, Sheffield United were absolutely nowhere near it. But this is why we love football, the ups and downs. And obviously, as a player as well, you're waiting all season, pre-season rather, to get going, and you see there's such a burst of energy now on the field because these players want to get going.
They do indeed. Ball forward here, and Reese is after it, but Norrington Davis was alert to the danger and gets it back to his goalkeeper Michael Cooper, who, other than picking the ball out of the back of the net from that Scott Twine free kick, has had nothing to do whatsoever. But it is 1-1, 17 approaching on the clock. Mark Wilson, Courtney Sweetman, Kirk with you live at Bramall Lane tonight. Fourth of our championship commentaries today alone, and we've got another one to come tomorrow as well. The football just keeps on coming. Hopefully you listen on the Talksport app, you'll not miss a second of it. There's now the ball up to Harmer, who plays it over the top. There's a good looking run in here behind. What a touch that is from Burrows. Can he get on the end of it? He just couldn't. It just skipped away and inches over the dead ball line. But what a pass from Gustavo Harmer.
Well, one, it's the pass, but two, this is where they're working round Bristol City in terms of Harmer, the way that he drops into the left-hand side of the defence to get on the ball. Yes, then the pass is exceptional. I thought Harrison Burrows might get on the end of this, but what I will say, it's brilliant defending from Tanner. The way that he just eases him out the way, uses his upper body strength to make sure that Burrows can't get to the ball.
Nice back pass, finds Cooper, all in yellow. He's got bright sun right in his face as well. As the Blades look to play out from the back, Sariki's gambled. We got fortunate there, but that may in turn launch a counter. Here's Harmer, first time pass finds Barry. What a move this could be. Barry closing in on goal, onto his right foot, shoots deflected and just wide. What a counter attack. It looked like Sariki was going to lose it on the edge of his own box. 3 passes later, Barry's in on goal, corner.
Harmer again though, the way that he plays this, because he's so aware, just plays it on one touch into Barry, knowing he's in acres of space, and it's unfortunate Barry gets the shot off, could have deflected anywhere, but at least it's for a corner from a Blades perspective.
It is. What an opening 18 minutes to the season this has been. Could be in for an interesting old afternoon here. The Blades with a corner. Going to swing it in, right-footed. This time it does beat the first man, headed away 6 yards out. Good header as well. Ball back to Harman, just has a touch. Gets it away, Burrows left-footed. That's a nice-looking ball in. And again, it's a brave header inside the penalty area there. Well, a couple of good headers there out of the danger zone. I think it was Rob Atkinson who was involved in those. And Sheffield United have it back. It was a real early burst from Bristol City, who scored through that Twine free kick, a wonderful free kick. But after that, Twine had that one good chance, and it's been all the Blades from that moment on. 2 goals, and we could easily have had more. Harmer on this near side will roll it back to his goalkeeper. Well, you were expecting goals, but This has just been all-out football, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. And just watching Harmer again, the way when you mentioned his name there, he picks it up in the left-back position almost, and it's giving Knight a real decision to make. He doesn't know whether to stick or twist, to go with him or stay. And you just see now Harmer, he's got the bit between his teeth. He's now sort of in between the two centre-backs, just trying to dictate the play. But yeah, I didn't quite imagine this start. I knew we'd get goals in the game, but this has been excellent to watch in the first 20 minutes.
It has. Here now, Sariki lays it back inside his own area. Here's Harmer again. Just rolls it on this time. He's got his touch all over everything. Barry does well to cutting from the sideline. Interesting how he goes this year. He mentioned he had that short stay at Hull. He got injured up at Sunderland, I think it was, in just his 4th appearance, and we never saw him again after that. Ball over the top for Sariki, and Sariki, as quick as he is, won't keep it in. But a couple of times they've got Sariki in down that side and not quite being able to keep it in. But that is certainly an outlet for Sheffield United. Still 1-1.
Yeah, it's an outlet, and it's causing problems for two reasons. Obviously, Bristol City running towards their own goal is not what they want, but it's pushing Hirakawa back as well, because he's now more worried about Sariki than Sariki is about him. So it's a dual purpose.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to be an interesting battle that between the two teams. McCrory heads it forward, but intercepted by Bindon, who's looked pretty good so far. Here now is Barry again on this left-hand side. Just looks for the give and go with Campbell, who does really well to hold it up. Burrows will play it down the line. He gets it away. Here is Campbell. Cross comes shot, and again closing in at the far post. That got a deflection, and closing in quickly was Andre Brooks, but it was just a yard in front of him. It's behind for yet another Sheffield United corner kick.
Yeah, and it takes a massive deflection, but Sheffield United now look much the better team. This will ebb and flow. The momentum will move throughout the game, but while they're on top now, Blades, they'll want to get another goal just to cement what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, they'd like to nudge in front. 22 on the clock here on Talksport 2. 1-1. Great start. There was a lot of late drama earlier on Talksport and Talksport 2. As the ball is whipped in towards the 6-yard box, it's headed away, and there was an opportunity there maybe for Mehmeti to do better than he did. The ball finds its way to Barry. He puts the cross in towards the far post. Bit of miscommunication. Two players going for the same ball there for Bristol City. Falls on the far side of the penalty area. And here now is a chance. Peck with the ball. They do get in behind this time. Cut back. It's a defender. And it went inches past the post. Nobody knew where that was going. A great pullback there from Brooks. 6 yards out. A Bristol City defender sticks a leg out. Everyone thinks he's going in. It shaves a post and behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's Ranwell, isn't it? He doesn't know anything about it. I think it actually takes a double deflection onto Ranwell, but yeah, Sheffield United now, they'll want that second goal, and they deserve it so far.
Yeah, again, the referee's not happy. He says there's some pushing and shoving going on. Sheffield United just want to get on with this at the moment, but they have been so good since they fell behind. And they got that equaliser. And who can begrudge them it? As it is going to be the Blades who are going to swing in another corner, deep towards the far post. Keeper comes in the end, gets two good hands on it, pushes it all the way out for a throw-in over on the far side. He's had a lot to do, Radat Vitek, but he did that pretty decisively. He looks quite tall, didn't he? He got up and got it away.
Yeah, and that's what you want from your goalkeeper, to come to make the decision. And then when you're in there, making sure that you're commanding your area, which he did excellently there, Vitek.
Yeah, ball on the far side. Blades coming forward again. Here's Brooks, edge of the box. Touch just let him down a second, but plenty of red and white shirts around the ball to win it back. O'Hare gets it away to Barry. Barry cuts in now. Little back heel finds Harmer. Beautiful pass into the edge of the area. Burrows with a shot, beaten away by Vitek. Good save from the keeper, had to be as well. Well, when we saw this Sheffield United team at 4:15 this afternoon, and thought, wow, there's a lot of attacking threat in that team, and they're showing us exactly what threat they've got here.
Well,
brilliant.
You're looking at the left back there, Harrison Burrows, the feet, how quickly he moves the ball in the box there. And look, we know he's got great attacking prowess, but just the ability there on the ball was excellent.
It was. Here's another cross into the area. Oh, now that was cleared away. It was a little bit awkward there by Atkinson. There was a little appeal, a half-hearted appeal that maybe it hit a hand, but the referee was having none of that, and it's cleared away. And Sheffield United, who basically have taken up camp inside the Bristol City half. Bristol City led inside 5 minutes. Scott Twine's free kick, a wonderful strike, but Tyrese Campbell with a wonderful strike of his own leveled it up just 9 minutes later. It's been all Sheffield United since then, and Bristol City have they've had to batten down the hatches a little bit here, but there could be a chance for Reece to get in behind, and just for a moment they had to break away here, and there could be a chance for Twine, edge of the area, gets it away to the fullback who drives it across goal, and Ross McCrory has drilled it past Cooper. Talk about a smash and grab, and it's drilled across goal by McCrory, and Bristol City, completely against the run of play, have got a second goal. It's Sheffield United 1, Bristol City 2.
Well, I mentioned it earlier, in terms of McCrory getting forward, he's quite happy to risk it and take a position up the other side of the box, on the edge of the box, even though he's a wing back, even when both wing backs have gone. You see it there. I'm looking at Bindon and I'm thinking he has to do a little bit better there. Emile Reece, yes, don't get me wrong, he's a powerful player, but he's not got bags and bags of pace, and Bindon just gets done. I think it's his positioning, but from there, the way it comes across, Twine gets involved again. It's about the awareness I spoke earlier in terms of Harmer, but Twine has it here where he just goes across. McCrory does ever so well to get high and wide, and then it's just a low powerful shot across Cooper. Should he do a little bit better? Maybe so, but take nothing away from Bristol City. Yeah, counter-attack, it's a bit of smash and grab, but they've taken their opportunities when they've come to them.
You mentioned that Reece-Bindon matchup. Reece just got half a yard, maybe a quarter of a yard in front of him, and Bindon almost let him run past, didn't he, thinking, I daren't bring him down here, and in doing that, he let Reece in and he squared it to Twine, and what a pass. McCrory, though, drills it across goal. I'm with you, it wasn't right inside the far post, maybe a foot or so in from the post, but he hit it so well. I think the pace of it beat Cooper rather than the accuracy of it, but it's 2-1 to Bristol City. What a counter-attack that was. They've barely been out of their own half in the last 20 minutes. Yeah,
exactly, but you're right, in terms of the pace that you hit the ball with, and also not taking 1-2 touches, the fact that McCrory just steps onto that, hits it as well as he does, it means that Cooper can't get set. So yeah, as you say, they've been under pressure, but they've weathered the storm. They've not conceded against Bristol City, and then they've gone up the other end and created a really good chance and finished it off.
Here's Harmer. 2-1, Bristol City lead. Well, I mentioned we've had a lot of late drama already, including last night, that late penalty equaliser for Ipswich at Birmingham, 1-1. We had Southampton 2 late goals. Charlton scored in the 94th minute to win earlier. Well, here it's been all early drama. 3 goals in the opening 26 minutes. And it's Bristol City who lead by 2-1. Sheffield United have it back. Gerhard Struber looks on. His side have got off to a flying start, although the fourth official is just having a word with him. I'm not sure what about.
I think it's the fact he's probably still stood outside his technical area. He's getting a bit animated, which can't blame him for, but maybe he can't see the white lines very well.
Well, he's got his red baseball cap on. Looks like he's off for a stroll in the park, doesn't he? Looks quite cool. Now he's virtually on the pitch now. Did pull off a minor miracle in keeping Barnsley in the Championship that year he was there. And his side looking to break again. And you mentioned what we said earlier on. They've got quite a few of their first choice players missing today, Bristol City. You wouldn't know it, but here goes O'Hare going the other way for Sheffield United. He's got support on his outside in Sariki. 3 red and white shirts waiting in the middle, but the cross was blocked off at source. And now there's a chance, and they'll win a throw in Bristol City. They lead by 2-1. 28 on the clock. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk alongside me. What have you made of the opening 28 minutes, Courtney?
Oh, it's been brilliant. It's been fantastic to watch. Obviously, the home faithful won't be too happy with the scoreline, but I think for the neutral, watching, listening, you can't not be excited by this, and this is why we love the Championship. In terms of the game itself, I think it's about the wide areas. I mentioned it in terms of Bristol City playing the wing backs and how Sheffield United were going to deal with that, and as they've got better, Sheffield United, they've doubled up to combat it, but it's all about the wide areas for me, and that's where it's being won and lost in different moments of the game.
Burrows gets it away to Peck. He finds Harmer, who flicks it to O'Hare, who Well, Burrows didn't continue his run, Barry did, but he has it nicked away from him. Crunching tackle goes in there from the goal scorer McCrory. Play on, ball finds Emil Rees on halfway. It'll be brought down by Sheffield United. They'll get it back on the halfway line. Peck did well to get it away, but the pass then was misplaced. And now a chance again on the break, and it's all got a bit helter-skelter. Now it's a free kick for Bristol City right on the halfway line.
I love it. The tackles flying in, the tempo of the game, not an inch being given, and sometimes I think, especially probably higher up the pyramid, that the referees are more likely to stop it, but there's nothing wrong with that tackle there from McCrory. It's full-blooded, but he gets the ball. I'm surprised Harrison Burrows got away with that little nick on the back of the ankles though on McCrory, because he knew exactly what he was doing. He was trying to stop him going forward, and I'm surprised the referee didn't spot that and go back and give Burrows the caution.
Yeah. Well, free kick Bristol City. They drill it out over on the far side to Hirakawa. He brings it down and now advances towards the goal, and he gets to the byline, puts in a good-looking cross. Bindon heads it away. May go out for a corner. It's going to stay in the field of play. Hirakawa tries to hook it back. O'Hare is there. He'll knock it long, and Tyrese Campbell's going to give this a chase, and he might get there. And in the end, he was just beaten to it by Rob Atkinson, who managed to turn it out for a throw-in, but that was something out of nothing. And again, O'Hare showing his quality in that midfield.
Yeah, and he's got no right, Tyrese Campbell, to win anything from that, but the fact that he drives forward the way he does, the attitude and obviously the physical ability that he's got to reach it, means that Sheffield United get a throw-in in a good area out of it.
Ball on halfway. Now a little interchange of passes. Sariki just showed too much of that to Atkinson. A couple of times down that right side he's had time and hasn't quite really delivered when he should have done, but it's still exciting to see him get into those spaces.
Yeah, and I think that's, under Sellers now, that's where it's going to progress. It's going to be a bit more harem scarum. I think under Chris Wilder it's about being defensively stout and then trying to find that attacking prowess going forward, where it's going to be different under Sellers, and it's going to be, as you go through the season, they're going to have to learn to find the balance, but it's exciting to watch.
It certainly is. 2-1 Bristol City lead. If you've just joined us, Twine's free kick 5 minutes in. Tyrese Campbell equalised on 14, but then Ross McCrory, very much against the run of play, fires in a wonderful shot across the keeper Cooper and into the bottom corner of the net. More live football tomorrow. Of course, we've got the Community Shield as Liverpool take on Crystal Palace. We'll hear from both managers ahead of that one. It's a Community Shield at Wembley tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Adrian Durham will be there with Sam Matterface and the former England striker Dean Ashton. The ball over on the far side. Also got football from the Championship tomorrow. Leicester against Sheffield Wednesday. Jim Proudfoot and former Arsenal man Adrian Clark live on Talksport 2 tomorrow. Jim was down at Southampton today, calling home a couple of late goals for the Saints as they get their first win under their new manager, Will Still. Oh, a great fight in the boxing next Saturday night. Moses Itoma against Dillian White. That's on Talksport and on the Talksport Boxing YouTube channel as well. Moses Itoma, one of the rising stars in boxing. Interesting how that one goes. You'll hear it all live on Talksport next Saturday. Ball back in play here. Bristol City are attacking, but Bindon will head it away. Bit of head tennis ensues, and he'll head it back and try to hook it back in play, and it's turned over by Bristol City. Ball forward for Campbell to chase, and it's hooked back towards Radek Vitek in goal. He'll have a touch and then plays it out towards halfway, and strong challenge went in there from Norrington Davis. Referee happy to let that go, but it's picked up by Bristol City. They're working this right channel. Emil Rees again tried to play it early, and Norrington Davis has to turn it behind for a corner. But again, Bristol City on the break, showing their prowess.
Yeah, that transition isn't a happy place at the moment for Sheffield United, and they're struggling with it. But mentioned in terms of the referee, I like the way that Josh Smith has refereed this game so far, because he's let challenges go. It's been equal the way they've refereed it for both, and that's how football should be. It's a contact sport, and it needs to stay that way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good. He's adding to the spectacle, the official here. And it's going to be a corner for Bristol City, and a third goal here for the visitors really would change the atmosphere in this stadium. Twine will deliver, fires it right to the far post as a free header headed back towards goal. Cooper gets up highest, and they'll be frustrated. There was McCrory with a header. He had time, he could have put that anywhere. Long ball forward, keeper thought about coming out to get it, and in the end it's hammered out on this near side, and that was the covering George Tanner, who did well to knock it out for a throw-in. But both sides keen to get forward at the first available opportunity.
Yeah, going back to what you said there, I think McCrory is going to be really disappointed with that. Pulls off to that back post there. It's obviously something that they've worked on, but just completely mistimes the header back into the traffic.
Yeah, it was a loopy header, wasn't it, rather than a direct header. We've had 35 minutes. Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. And here's Norrington Davis. Looks up for the crossfield switch. It's a good ball. It's brought down on the chest by Brooks, but he's then out-muscled by two defenders, and now they're looking to counter again. Reece pass was just mislaid a little bit. Twine looked like he'd gone too early. It won't matter anyway. The ball, long ball forward, is curling away and out for a throw-in. And they're disappointed, the Blades fans there. They wanted a free kick, would have been probably more advantageous to them than the throw-in. It is 2-1 to Bristol City, live on Talksport 2.
You see Norrington Davis especially, he was fuming with the assistant and the referee. Whether the flag would have gone up in time, who knows, but we know, the way it's refereed now, the flags don't go up. It's sort of waited until it's touched again into play. But as you say, in terms of the advantage then that the team gets, changes.
Yeah, it does. Forward come the Blades again. It's just been dampened, haven't it, by that second Bristol City goal. They've not quite gone forward with the same gusto. And Bristol City just breaking play up. Viner just knocks it long all the way through to Cooper on this near side.
I suppose changing the tempo a little bit, though, isn't necessarily too much of a bad thing, especially when it's your first game back. 35 minutes in, I think then you start to manage the game a bit more, where it's been all-out energy from both teams. This is where you need to be a little bit more sensible and let the ball do the work.
Yeah, Sheffield United have it. Wide on their right. Good touch there. Good work from Brooks. Feeds it across. It is Harrison Burrows, 30 yards out. Feeds it wide to Louis Barry. Barry right on the corner of the penalty area. He's going to go for a shot, and it's a great save from Radek Vitek. Full stretch, gets one hand to it and claws it behind for a corner. Barry so close to his first Sheffield United goal.
Wow, great shot, even better save. And Sheffield United fans were asking for Burrows to shoot initially. He finds his teammate in Barry, who just drives across the line from the apex of the box across the 18-yard box, unleashes a ferocious shot, but big left hand from Vitek.
Was a good save, confident save. We were right in line with it. It was going in. But a good save from the Manchester United loanee. Corner whipped in, is flicked on at the near post. It's bouncing around edge of the 6-yard box. It'll fall here for Barry. Tried to go past his man, gets past his man, pokes it back to the penalty spot. There's nobody there to hit it. Sariki arrives late, took a touch. Peck got a touch on it right in front of Vitek, and it hits the keeper and goes behind for a corner. Sheffield United inches away from levelling up the game.
Vitek so far has been brilliant. We know the problems that Manchester United have had in goal of recent years, but he's been excellent. Massive deflection, it's always difficult. Lots of bodies in the way as well, but does excellently to get his body in front of it and move it away from danger, Vitek.
Here's a corner swung in again. Ball falls to Barry. He's going to hit it first time. That gets a deflection as well. It's corner after corner at the moment in terms of Sheffield United. They trail by 2-1, but they're really cranking up the pressure here as they look to level this up. They've had 6 corners now.
Just watching that replay back as well of Sidney Peck. It's actually a really good reaction. I thought it just hit him, but he does realise the ball's coming towards him. He opens his hips up, just tries to side foot it into the back of the net, does everything right. There's nothing else he can do with that, but just equalled out by a very good goalkeeper right now.
Can the Blades level up here? 39 on the clock. Ball swung into the 6-yard box. Bindon got a header on it. It's cleared away. Back to Bindon, edge of the area. Sits up on the volley and he's put it in the top stand. That was a shocker. Yeah, way over the top.
Poor decision. Facing away from goal. Sort of keeping the ball up. Then he's having to try and swing his hips, get over the ball, get over the numerous players in front of him. It's probably not at his the best first half in a Blade shirt for sure.
No. Well, I'm hoping it can only get better, the New Zealand international. on loan from Nottingham Forest. 2-1 Bristol City lead. Ball played forward. That's going out on the full from Vitek. The first mistake he's made today. He's come up with a couple of big saves, the goalkeeper. What a first 40 minutes we've had here. 3 goals. We could have had 3 more quite easily at both ends of the field. But it is the Blades who trail at the moment.
It's quite a departure as well from last season in terms of quite a few times started extremely slowly. Sheffield United for the first half, it was insipid, I think was one of the words used at times, and then they sort of fought back in the second half where, yeah, very much a departure from that. Obviously not the result that the fans will want, but in terms of the energy and the style of play, I think they'll be happy with that in a sense, the Sheffield United fans. Yeah,
there's been a lot of attacking intent. On another day they could easily be 2-1 up, maybe even more.
And the players that we've mentioned in terms of missing in defence as well will change that when they're back to full fitness. And I think that obviously with losing Ahmedhodzic specifically, they'll hope that they can bring a couple more in before the end of the window too.
All over the top looking for Barry, but across on the cover there was the centre-half George Tanner. Knocks it out for a throw-in. Norrington Davis has it. On halfway. It's under 5 to go to the break. There's not really been a stoppage in play other than the goals, so it'll be interesting how long will be added on here. You're live on Talksport 2. Matt Wilson, Courtney Sweetman, Kirk, your team here this afternoon. That was given away a little bit lightly by Brooks, but does get a foot back in, and then O'Hare's pulled down from behind, and we've seen yellow cards issued for that one. That was a blatant foul, but took one for the team there, Bristol City, and now a set piece right over on the far side, midway inside the Bristol City half, and this is a chance for Sheffield United. Yeah, it isn't. I think that's why Callum O'Hare will play such a focal point this year under Sellers, because the way that he's tenacious, he wins the ball back, he's always milling about, and that'll be important in a Sellers team, the way that they like to high press and win the ball back in high areas. And you actually saw that with the Sheffield United goal. He initially won it back. Yeah, he did. Harmer's going to deliver it from the far side. Swings it in, a dangerous ball, skims off the head, falls to Barry, won't sit down for him, tried to lob it across goal. Just couldn't either get the curl on it or just had too much loft on it. Either way it goes behind, but he's picking up some dangerous positions, isn't he, in that sort of like left winger position. He's getting plenty of ball on that corner, but couldn't do anything with it there. Yeah, he is. But it's the right idea, just the wrong execution, and the way that he controls the ball initially, and then he has to take a step back, which means that he's leaning back, and it's the right idea not to sort of strike through it because of the way the position and where he is in the left-hand side of the box, the defender in front of him as well. So he just tried to loop it over, but you're right, he just doesn't quite get the curl to bring it back inside that top right-hand corner. All played forward. Headed down, and it'll fall here, tempting here, big chance. Twine on the overlap here, possibility of a third goal that went down. Mehmeti gets it back here, tries to pull the trigger. Was he taken down? I think oh no, he's going to get booked for diving. Well, everyone in the ground, as the referee put his whistle to his lips, said that was going to be a penalty. He hasn't booked him either, so what happened there? The first one for me definitely isn't, there's no doubt. See, the second one, I potentially think that's a penalty, and you're right then in the sense that it's Mehmeti. I think he gets clipped. He does. As he's lifting his left back foot to strike it, he is then touched by Sariki. So then that begs the question, if you're giving a free kick for what you feel is simulation as the referee, it should be a yellow card. And I think majority of the game, Josh Smith has had a good game, but that's a really poor decision for me. It doesn't make any sense. Has he given it because Mehmeti then picked the ball up expecting to get a free kick? I think he's given it for handball rather than a dive. And when you see the replay there, it looked like Mehmeti, yes, he might have been touched, but he then kicked the floor, didn't he? And that's what made him fall over. I think the referee's given it for handball in fairness, but we'll see. But I'll tell you what, those in the Kop thought a penalty was coming there when that whistle went to the lips. It's still 2-1, 90 seconds to go to the break. But just a warning, every time they come forward, don't they? Bristol City look like they're going to score. Yeah, they're living dangerously in that sense, Sheffield United. They've got, they've had a lot of play, they've had a lot of good things happen, shots on goal, but the difference is, I think Bristol City have been a lot more clinical. They've probably had less chances, but with the chances that they've made for themselves and the opportunities they have been given, they've been so clinical and probably... Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to get another second look at it, but I think that they've got away with one there, United. OK, well, here's Campbell at the other end. Looks to put the cross in, and again, there's nobody there to turn it in. 6 yards out. There's a last ditch leg out just to get the ball away. His Peck does really well to find Sariki. 25 yards out. Is he going to unleash one? Oh, he plays a ball to O'Hare, who's onside. He squares it. There's nobody there. Why didn't he shoot? There was no red and white shirt anywhere near where he was trying to pass it. And he's, 8 yards out from goal.
Clever ball from Sariki, because Andre Brooks out on that right-hand side is providing the width that allows O'Hare to get in that space. But you're right, Mark. For me, strike that first time. I said it about McCrory. It doesn't let the goalkeeper get set. And I think if O'Hare strikes it there across the goalkeeper, I mean, Vitek's had a great game so far, but it'd have been a shot on target and an opportunity for Sheffield United.
We're into the last few seconds of the first half. Gerd Struber is just asking how long he's going to be added on. It's a short corner play by Sheffield United. They've worked it well, trying to side foot it across goal. It'll fall to Barry, far post on his left foot. He's going to have a shot. And almost a little bit too cute, that, from Sheffield United. It looked easy on the eye. 2 added on minutes remaining. End of the first half here, and it's 2-1 in favour of Bristol City for now. Ball back with Bindon. Here's Norrington Davis. Forward, he played it to Harrison Burrows. He's eased off it, and it's hammered away. And I think Bristol City will be happy to have what they hold here and go into the dressing rooms. 2-1 to the good. Here's Harmer. One of those 2 added on minutes now. Crossfield switch looking for Brooks. Brings it down, then stumbled, and Furukawa was all over him, but he got the pass away. Here now is Peck. Peck will just roll it back to Norrington Davis as Sheffield United look to find an equaliser before the break. Here now is Barry, cuts onto that right foot again. Finds Harmer. Harmer feeds it in. Peck's first touch is good. His second touch is good. He's weaving his way through, and eventually it's cleared away. It looked impossible to get as close to goal as he did there, but his skill was magnificent. And the ball back on halfway. Here's Harmer again. Fades one way, then goes the other, looking for something to happen, and then gave it away. And Twine's touch was poor. Really should have got the ball back there. And Bristol City are just like they're just sitting on the ropes, saying, well, you're not going to knock us out, so I'm just going to stand here until the bell rings. And the Blades are just passing it around at the moment. We're in a 2 added on minutes here, end of the first half. Gerd Struber might as well be playing at wing back. He's up and down the touchline every time. Harmer again looks to feed it through, the dummy from O'Hare, and it's played away. And now the break could be on if Bristol City can play their cards right here, but the pass is sliced out. And I think that just may be a sign that Bristol City have got the cue on the rack at the end of this first 45 minutes. But it's been a pulsating 45 as the whistle goes, and there are applause from around us here. Sheffield United might not be in front, but it's been a half full of attacking intent. Scott Twine, though, got Bristol City off to a flying start. Foul right on the edge of the D, right in front of goal, and Twine, from about 23 yards out, stuck it straight in the top corner away from Michael Cooper to give Bristol City the lead. And Twine had another chance shortly after on his left foot. It took a deflection off Sariki and over the top. Could have, maybe should have been 2-0. But then came Sheffield United. Lovely move. Great footwork from O'Hare. That set up Tyrese Campbell. He smashed in from about 10 yards out to make it 1-1. And as Sheffield United launched attack after attack, a counter-attack involved Emil Rees and Twine. They fed it to Ross McCrory. He drilled it across goal to put Bristol City in front on 26 minutes. It's a lead that they held at the break as well. And Courtney Sweetman-Kerr, really good half of football. What will both managers have made of it?
Well, it's been an excellent spectacle. Let's talk about that. The Championship is certainly back in full swing. I think that Sellers will be disappointed with some elements of the defending. I think it's par for the course, because I think the way that he's asking them to play with that high line and getting both the full-backs forward to add into attack, you know that you're going to leave yourself exposed. But there's certain movements, i.e. Bindon for the second goal, that's just about 1v1 defending. He has to do better in that sense. I think, giving away the free kick where they did, when they know Bristol City have got a fantastic technician in Scott Twine who loves set pieces. Giving that away, he won't be happy with. But in terms of the attacking intent, 78% possession for Sheffield United, 12 shots, 4 on target, so that needs to be better, obviously, in that sense. But I think he'll be relatively happy going forward. In terms of Bristol City, so clinical, so I think they have to be happy with that. Will they want a little bit more possession? Yes, because I think the further and further that they sit in and they invite that pressure, invariably Sheffield United will score. But the way that they've played it at the moment has been perfect in terms of, yes, playing on the counter-attack, being clinical, but I don't think you can do that now for all of the second half. They need to come out with the sort of intent that they did in the first half, at least for some of the second half, to try and balance it, because if you keep sitting in, I just think you're going to invite too much pressure. But as a spectacle for the game, it's been brilliant.
It has indeed, and the good news is we've still got 45 minutes of it remaining. But at the break here, the sunny Bramall Lane, not the start that Ruben Selles was looking for. Bristol City have hit the ground running at the break at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1, Bristol City 2.
Claim approved. Direct Line's ready to send my new laptop within 2 hours. That's how it's done. Imagine if that's how everything got done. Like teaching little Johnny to play his recorder. Oh my. That's my boy!
Direct Line. That's how it's done.
Theft and accidental loss claims up to £3,000. Cover limits apply. Personal possessions cover needed for items outside the home.
Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Oh.
Maybe not.
Yorkshire tea, where everything's done properly. Yorkshire tea.
Right, enough of that. How about Yorkshire tea, where everything's done proper?
If an Audi's on your mind this summer, now's the time. With attractive offers across the range when you order a new Audi by the 31st of August and take delivery by the 31st of December. Start your search at audi.co.uk or visit your local Audi centre.
New balls, please.
Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik. Terms and conditions apply. Retail customers and participating Audi centres only.
School's out for summer. At Tesco Mobile, our deals will help you make the most of it. Get our 60 gig SIM for just £13 a month with Club Card prices, saving you £48. And you'll collect Club Card points too. How you choose to spend them is up to you. It pays to be connected. Search Tesco Mobile. Every little helps. End 7th of September. Club Card 24-month credit agreement and unlock 4G phone required. 18 plus only. Collect 1 point every £1 spent. Terms at tescomobile.com/terms.
Take my money.
You, and you gather in the name of chicken. For thou shalt not eat alone. The KFC popcorn bucket. 60 pieces for $5.99. Get the deal. Believe in chicken. KFC. Until 31st of August. Subject to availability. Participating restaurants only. Not available on delivery. See website for full T's and C's. When your deodorant has been reduced to a tiny whisper and tries to tell you, I'm running on empty. I don't have much left to give. No need to worry. Your new deodorant is already on its way. Arriving today with Prime. Everyday essentials delivered fast. It's on Prime. Cut-off times and T's and C's apply. See product page when ordering.
It's the prelude to the new Premier League season. The 2025 FA Community Shield live on Talksport.
A goal to celebrate!
Tomorrow afternoon from 2. Last season's Premier League champions go head-to-head with the FA Cup victors to take home the Community Shield.
What a way to do it!
Full match build-up ahead of uninterrupted kick-by-kick commentary of Crystal Palace's showdown with Liverpool. Live from Wembley Stadium.
Oh yes! He's done it again!
With a full-on post-match phone-in after the final whistle.
We just let ourselves down again.
All right, calm down, mate, all right. The FA Community Shield 2025. Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Tomorrow afternoon from 2. Live on Talksport.
It's the totally immersive football experience.
Right, put it on! What a goal!
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
We are underway. The new season here at Bramall Lane is off and running. It's going to be Twine who stood over it. And he comes up to it now, right-footed, whips it over the top and sticks it right in the top corner. What a start for Bristol City. Scott Twine leaves Cooper stood still.
Absolutely unbelievable technique. You probably don't think that the earlier free kick for Southampton in that game can be beaten, but I tell you what, it has.
As a challenge goes in there, it's won back nicely by O'Hare. Now there's a chance. O'Hare drifting into the edge of the area. Oh, beautiful pass, must be, and is, and it's slammed in by Tyrese Campbell, and we're all level. It's a breakaway here, and there could be a chance for Twine, edge of the area. Gets it away to the fullback who drives it across goal, and Ross McCrory has drilled it past Cooper. Talk about a smash and grab.
You can't not be excited by this, and this is why we love the Championship.
We certainly do love the Championship. What a start, just the opening weekend of the new campaign in the Championship. Drama last night. At Birmingham, they were denied a winner by a late Ipswich penalty. 1-1 there. There was late drama at the Valley as well. Charlton 1, Watford 0. They got a 94th minute goal from Harvey Nibbs on debut for Charlton, the winner there. Coventry 0-0 with Hull. That was live on Talksport 2 earlier on this lunchtime, as was Southampton against Wrexham. Wrexham leading courtesy of a Josh Windass penalty, but 2 late goals for Southampton made it 2-1 and a winning start for Will Still. Middlesbrough, they picked up their first win. Dale Fry with the only goal of the game in the second half to deny Swansea. 1-0 there. Millwall, they won at Norwich despite Josh Sargent getting an equaliser there. Langstaff with a winner. Millwall win by 2-1. Winning start as well for Portsmouth. They got a first half goal at Oxford to win it by 1-0. QPR and Preston shared the points 1-1. Stoke 3, Derby 1. And over on Talksport 2 this afternoon with Dance and Perry Groves, West Bromwich Albion 1, Blackburn 0. Price with the only goal there. Furlong sent off late on in the piece for West Bromwich Albion. Here at Bramall Lane at the break, it is Sheffield United 1, Bristol City 2. Don't forget, Talksport 2 is your home of the EFL, and on Monday evening from 5, Ewers and Croft and Cameron Jerome will bring you the EFL All Access as a round up all the latest stories from across the 3 divisions. And if you missed the live show, it's also available to listen back to as a podcast, so you can find it wherever you get your podcasts from, or you can listen to it on the Talksport app. More live football coming your way on the Talksport network tomorrow afternoon from 3 p.m. It's the top flight curtain raiser live from Wembley as Liverpool take on Crystal Palace in the Community Shield. Let's hear now from both managers. Shortly you'll hear from the Palace boss, Oliver Glasner, but first here's Liverpool's Arne Slot, who hopes to get the season off to the best possible start.
If you can start the season with the chance of winning something, because normally you have to play numerous games before you can win something. If it's the League Cup, FA Cup, let alone Premier League or Champions League, normally you win something in the end of the season. And now we have a chance to win something in the beginning of the season. Unfortunately, we face a very good Crystal Palace that have been very difficult to win against for us, because we played 1-1 against them in the last game of the season, and they showed in the last final and in the semi-final, by the way, as well, how hard it is to win a one-off game of them. So I think most of the players that they have are still there. So even more reason to know what a difficult team it is to play against.
I mean, it's always when you play a final, when you play for silverware, then you always want to win it, you know. And I think I mentioned this so often in every. Sometimes I felt it was. When we were speaking about the Carabao Cup, and we entered the competition to win it, and then it was, that's Carabao. And of course, you know, when we have a game in training, I hope everybody wants to win it. It's a winning mentality, and so I played when I was at home after the training camp in Austria. I stayed at home, and I Connect 4, and I lost twice in a row against my daughter. I was really upset. So no, really, and it's. And this, I think, is just the mindset you have. And I hope, and this is what we try to create always, a winning mentality. And never play a game just for playing it, you know. Enter the pitch, go to Wembley, prepare in the best way, have the confidence that you can win it, and give the best that you can do it.
Oliver Glasner there speaking along with Arne Slot ahead of the action tomorrow, the Community Shield, all the build-up and the game live from 3. Talksport, Adrian Durham, Sam Mataface and the former England man Dean Ashton, our team there. Whilst here on Talksport 2 tomorrow, we'll be at the King Power Stadium to see Leicester City take on a beleaguered Sheffield Wednesday, with many tipping the Owls for relegation already. Their captain Barry Bannon spoke to Jeff Selling and Alan Pardew earlier this week after signing a new contract with the club.
obviously now I've been there a long time of my footballing career, so I've been there, this is my 11th season. It's became a part of my family now, so it was quite an easy decision at the same time as it being a really, really hard one. It was kind of getting to the place where it's getting close to the kick-off now, and I wanted to know where I was going to be, obviously going forward. So obviously with the embargo and stuff makes it quite hard to get it signed, but we got there in the end.
Just talk to me about the dressing room. How are the boys? You know, obviously, you know, I know the dressing room usually you're just going to get on with it, you know, and train hard and try and sort of put it all behind you. But it must be top of the agenda with the boys, is it?
Yeah, it's really hard because it's not only the wages and stuff that we've been facing at the last couple of months. Since we come back to pre-season, our pitches weren't ready, so we were training on AstroTurf for a bit, which, you know, modern day footballers don't really get on with AstroTurf. And then we went away to St George's, but we've had the under-23s coaches, Andy and Giles Coke, who stepped in when the manager obviously didn't come back. So on top of not being paid, which ain't nice, there's been loads of things as well, which from the outside you probably don't see.
Yeah. I'm going to make it easy.
I mean, there are a lot of headlines, aren't there, you know, about things like players going on strike. There's no prospect of that, is there?
No, I don't think so. We pulled out the Burnley game at the weekend. That was simply because it's happened too much now, and I think it's a lot easier to pull out a pre-season friendly game than it is obviously a championship fixture. So we took that as, because we've come into training and just got on with it and made it look to the outside world that we're fine with it, we're just getting on with it. So that was our choice then, to say enough's enough, really.
Yeah, Barry Bannon speaking ahead of that Sheffield Wednesday trip to Leicester. You'll hear it live tomorrow. Talksport 2 exclusive. Leicester against Sheffield Wednesday. 4:30 start. Jim Proudfoot and the former Arsenal midfielder Adrian Clark, our team for that one. Live boxing next Saturday night in Saudi Arabia. Moses Itoma, one of the big upcoming names in boxing. He takes on Dillian White, Saudi Arabia. Our team will be out in Riyadh to bring all the action. That'll be on Talksport next Saturday and on the Talksport Boxing YouTube channel. Lots to come. Liverpool Palace tomorrow from 3. Also got Leicester against Sheffield Wednesday, 4:30 on Talksport 2. Then Tuesday we're back at it again. Adrian will be around the grounds with the Carabao Cup special. Courtney will be part of that as well with Scott Minto and Mickey Gray. All the goals as they're going from Carabao Cup first round action and Champions League qualifiers as well. We've also got a live commentary. Bromley against Ipswich is live on Talksport 2 at 7:45. Wednesday, Huddersfield Leicester is live with Ian Danter and Mark Albrighton. And we've also got Paris Saint-Germain against Tottenham, the Super Cup, live on Talksport. Adrian will be there with Jim Proudfoot and the former Republic of Ireland captain Andy Townsend. And then the Premier League kicks off live and exclusive Friday night. Liverpool, the champions, take on Bournemouth. Adrian will be there with Joe Shannon and Dean Ashton. We're underway. Start of the second half here. Bristol City lead by 2-1. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk alongside me. What do you think Ruben Sellés would have said at the break?
I think they obviously need to be a bit better 1v1 battles defensively, and it depends if you want to tweak it tactically. I think for me, both the fullbacks going leaves you too open, so you've got to ask yourself two questions. You still want your two fullbacks to go and someone like a Sidney Peck drop in to give you a bit more stability, or do you only the opposite side fullback in this case, you make them stay and turn it into a back three? So we'll see what he thinks.
Well, there's a chance now for the visitors, and a great chance, and the ball is tucked in. It's a cross from the far side from Twine, and Mehmeti has buried it from 8 yards out. The keeper, Cooper, no chance. What a start to the second half. The Bristol City fans are going ballistic behind that goal. Cooper couldn't keep it out. Mehmeti couldn't miss. Sheffield United 1, Bristol City 3.
Well, in terms of Cooper, I don't think there's anything that he can do about this. But yet again, 1v1 battles. It's too easy for Bristol City here, and Twine, it's not difficult what he does. He just chops it onto his right foot, runs down the line. Yeah, half decent ball in the end. It's actually Reece that steers it in. It's Twine that plays earlier in the play. But 1v1 battles, again, wide areas. not close enough to Mehmeti, in my opinion. I think it's Bindon again, isn't it? He's not had a great game at all. But Sheffield United, architects of their own downfall there, and each individual player in that, as well as the collective in that defensive shape, it just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, Anis Mehmeti. We mentioned earlier in the first half, Sheffield United a couple of times pulling the ball back into that 6 to 10 yard area. Blades no one to put it in. That time Mehmeti crashed it in from close range, and Cooper no chance. And here he goes again, Mehmeti. He's gone past Sariki. He's into the edge of the area. Sariki almost bundled him over. He's actually done really well there, Sariki, and it's hammered away. But the case for Sheffield United has just got a lot bigger. We'll run you through the two teams in a minute as the ball is thumped forward by Bristol City, but they have got a 2-goal cushion now, and this is a mountain to climb for Sheffield United, and it could be about to get worse as Emil Rees now plays the ball in. Mehmeti coming forward. Sariki just has to look around him because he's isolated on his own. Cross towards the far post, and it's hooked away by Harrison Burrows. But what a nightmare start to the half for Sheffield United. Here now goes Harmer, goes past one. I thought he'd done really well. Referee Burrows against him. Michael Cooper's the goalkeeper for Sheffield United. A back four: Sariki, Bindon, Norrington Davis and Burrows. Harmer, Peck and Brooks across the middle. O'Hare is just behind Barry and Tyrese Campbell. For the visitors, Radek Vitek the goalkeeper. Tanner, McCrory, Atkinson and Viner the four at the back. Knight and Randall with Harikawa, Twine, Mehmeti and Rees in the advanced positions. Wow, what a start. Nobody in Bramall Lane expected that. Here is Twine again, room to turn. He's going to have a shot from distance. The keeper was beaten and Cooper gets up relieved. That's gone the wrong side of the post from a Bristol City perspective. He is furious. How can they give Twine that much time?
Well, he's already shown, obviously different from a set piece, the dead ball situation, but he's already shown what he can do. It's far too easy for him just to drop the shoulder again, get the shot off. My word, that is close. I was going to say the only positive to that early goal for Sheffield United, in fact, they've got time to come back in it, but if they carry on like this, they're going to be 4-1 down.
Yeah, they need something. They've got a chance here, edge of the penalty area. It might break for O'Hare. Can he shoot? No, get it away to Brooks. Brooks tries to go past his man, drills it into the side netting. Just couldn't quite get the angle. Hirikawa was all over him there and forced the shot wide in the end. It's 3-1 to Bristol City, but a dream start goal. Early minutes of both halves, they lead 3-1.
It's an interesting one. It's a very, very similar Andre Brooks there to the position that McCrory was in. The difference with that one is the weight of pass wasn't good enough. So if the weight of pass there is in front of Andre Brooks, then he can hit it first time like McCrory did. But the problem is there, it's a little bit behind him. He has to take the touch, and by the time he's done that, Hirakawa's done really well to make that recovery run and make it difficult for Brooks to get the shot on target.
Here's another chance here for Bristol City. They're in again here. And the cross this time is blocked. Twine's cross is blocked, and it came last off Twine. And that means it'll be a goal kick. And it is, I'll tell you what, it's heart in mouth time. Every time that ball goes over the halfway line into the Sheffield United half, they are panicking now.
I like that, though, from Bristol City. I said if they start this half and sit back in and try and soak up more pressure, it's going to be difficult for them. But the fact they've come out all guns blazing, got the early goal, I don't think half the fans here are even back from the concourse for getting the half-time refreshments, but it's been a really good start from them.
It has, and here go the visitors again down this near side. Hirikawa's bundled off the field there, ball played into the edge of the box, and Mehmeti's pass this time doesn't find its target. 3-1. They've given it away again, the Blades. Here's McCrory. McCrory pulls it back. Here's Twine, has a touch, shot deflected and in! It's 4-1 for Bristol City. Listen to that reaction from the Bramall Lane faithful. Twine's shot took a massive deflection and it loops over Cooper and in. Sheffield United 1, Bristol City 4. What a opening to the season for the Robins.
Well, I'm just watching Ruben Sellés below me, and the gestures, he's absolutely raging. He's trying to get across his messages. Not sure if he can, but the thing that disappoints me with this is Norrington Davies. One, it's not a good ball out, but then his reaction to it, throws his hands up in the air like it's his teammate's fault when it isn't. And then from that, he drops off too much. away from the defensive line, so he's so much deeper than everyone else, which means then he can't get close to Twine when the ball comes in. Good first touch. Yes, he gets the shot off Twine. It takes a massive deflection. He gets lucky, but at the moment, Bristol City, the way that they're playing, they're creating their own look. They're getting high. The tempo of the ball, the way that they're willing to take risks in the right areas. And Sheffield United now at 6s and 7s. I don't see how they come back from this, even with... we're only 6 minutes into this second half, but I don't see how they come back from this, Blades.
This could get very ugly very, very quickly. Bristol City were thumped in the playoffs end of last season. We mentioned only 4 of the starting 11 for Sheffield United on the pitch tonight at kick-off. And it looks like a team defensive that have not met each other before, because they are getting ripped apart here. And Bristol City are turning on the style. And, well, as our colleague Neil Redfern says, if you don't shoot, you don't score. And Twine had a shot and it took a deflection and went in. 4-1.
Well, exactly. Funnily enough, he told me that many a time when he was in this dugout below me. And as you say, it doesn't have to be the perfect goal. And I think sometimes this is what Sheffield United today have been a little bit dangerous off in terms of trying to score that perfect goal. It's not happened. And for Bristol City, they've been so clinical. It's been unbelievable.
They have. And we mentioned earlier on, Michael Cooper, one of the best goalkeepers in this competition, has not really had much of a chance. Here's Harmer looking to get the ball over the top. Campbell makes a good run in behind. He might be better leaving that for Barry, who will keep it in. Down by the corner flag. Can they get an instant response? Harrison Burrows in at the edge of the area. Lays it back for Peck. He's going to shoot. And Bristol City throwing everything at it. Keep it out of their penalty area. And now they'll look to break again down this near side. Ball goes all the way down the touchline, and Bindon will get it back to Cooper. Gardstruber's going to be told again. The ball went past him there, and he fake kicked it as it literally rolled an inch on the field, and he went to dummy to kick it, pulled out of the way, and the fourth official just said, get out of the way. We're going to see some changes here, and I'm not surprised. Sheffield United are going to make some changes. They need them quickly. Sariki comes forward now, tries to go past one, muscled off it. Strong defence there from Atkinson. He then comes out of the tackle, gets the ball away. There's frustration growing here at Bramall Lane. You can understand it. They're being outplayed, outfought, outskilled, out everything at the moment. This is not the start to the campaign that Sheffield United wanted. They were so good, weren't they, for that 20-minute period when they went behind. They got the equaliser, maybe should have gone in front. But second half, it has all come unravelled for them. And it is 4-1.
I think the problem for me is they're not learning from the mistakes. Yes, you can argue that fourth goal is fortunate, that maybe Bristol City all season aren't going to be this clinical. But the mistakes that they're making at the back and doing the same things time and time again and expecting a different result, that's what would worry me. Despite, yes, it's a makeshift back four, but still, I'd be worried if I was Ruben Sellers in some of those aspects in the defensive third.
Yeah, well, here's a good run from Brooks. Works his way to the edge of the area. He finds O'Hare. O'Hare just muscled out of it. It'll be at the... Oh, it's a goal kick. He just couldn't quite keep it in play. And there's high fives all around from Bristol City, who are happy that they've just kept Sheffield United at bay for a little bit longer. 55 on the clock. Nobody expected this. Nobody. Sheffield United 1, Bristol City 4. Gardstruber still on the edge of his technical area. Clapping, applauding. Asking his team for a little bit more. Well, we heard from him at the start. Courtney was excited, and so he should be. His team have put on a brilliant performance here so far.
And obviously, he's seen the work in pre-season, and there's definitely a reason to be excited. I think the way that they've managed the game, Bristol City, has been really intelligent. There have times where they've sort of come off the gas, knowing that they can't play at that high intensity for the full 90 minutes, so they've sat in, they've soaked up a bit of pressure, played on the counter-attack. There's also been moments where they've possessed the ball and been really good.
Yeah, certainly have. Ball over the top, though, is cool. It's cushioned back by the defender there, McCrory, but he's put it behind for a corner. So this is a bit of a gift for Sheffield United. Can they take advantage of it? Harmer just asks the crowd for a little bit more support. Maybe the crowd could ask Sheffield United for a little bit more football. Here's Burrows now, puts the ball in towards the far post. Keeper comes to collect, and Radek Vitek does collect it. Good hands from him. And it remains 4-1. I think there's a bit of a bang here for one of the Bristol City players. Atkinson maybe got a bang in the back there, but he's going to be okay to carry on.
I think it's right to mention Vitek as well, because in the first half he made a couple of really good saves, and maybe if he doesn't make them, if Sheffield United get that second goal at different times, then the momentum, the complexion of this game changes. So he's been very important today.
He has indeed. Right, here comes a change, a triple one as well for Sheffield United. I can see down below us the first change is made, and it is going to be Louis Barry who makes way, and he's going to be replaced by Harry Cornick. A disappointing debut for Louis Barry. Also coming on into the action, Jack Robinson is coming on. And also making way, Rhys Norrington-Davis. Oh, listen to that. That is not a nice reaction, is it? Not a nice reaction at all. And the final change will be Tom Cannon who's coming on. So a triple change. And it looks like Brooks is going to be the other player to make way. So Cornick, Robinson and Cannon come on for Barry, Norrington, Davis and Brooks. But never nice on week one of the season when one of your players is getting jeered from the field.
No, I mean, he's not had a good game, don't get me wrong, but as a player, it's not what you want at all.
Well, the triple change is made by Ruben Sellés. Like we said earlier, he's always, certainly in English football, he's always been firefighting, hasn't he? He's always been the man who's trying to achieve the impossible. Here, the expectations are much higher as O'Hare looks to get on the end of the long crossfield ball, but once again Vitek was out there quickly to clear the danger. Son of problems certainly down at that end of the ground, and the keeper once again bowls it out, which is unusual. Towards halfway, it's headed out over on the far side by Harrison Burrows, and it is 4-1.
Just a shot of Blaster as well in the crowd, still not ready yet, and someone with his tenacity, his ability in midfield, very much missed, and they'll want him back as soon as possible.
Yeah. Well, you're just seeing, I think that is Norrington Davis who's just got round to the dugout. In fact, no, it's Louis Barry, isn't it? He's got a round of applause from the home fans as Robinson is dispossessed. We've had 58 on the clock here. Free kick for Sheffield United. Much needed one as well. 4-1. How do they go about this?
Oh, they need a goal and they need one soon. I think it will be interesting because I like Louis Barry, I like what he does, but in terms of coming in from that right-hand side, at no point did he maybe change it up and go on his weaker left foot and do something a little bit different. So I think that became quite predictable for the Bristol City defence, so that needs to change.
Yeah, punching tackle went in there. Referees let play go on. There's a player down for Bristol City, but they're playing on here. It's McCrory, the fullback. Well, Bristol City are asking them to put it out of play, and now because Sheffield United weren't really doing anything with the ball, the referee seems fit. They had it on halfway, they weren't really looking to attack, so the referee now says, let's get the physio on. McCrory did go down. It was a heavy challenge, a fair one, but a heavy one.
Yeah, and there's no need in terms of if Sheffield United were to play on, they're not in the wrong. The referee has to stop it, for Sheffield United to stop the game. So this is where it's just a bit of a nonsense rule, and now McCrory is right back up. So for me, Sheffield United, they're probably the architects of their own downfall now in that sense. Play on, and then if the Bristol City fans are booing you, then they're going to boo you anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what a dramatic start. 2-1 at half-time. Anis Mehmeti tucked in within 60 seconds of the start of the second half, and Scott Twine, his deflected shot 6 minutes into the second half. 4-1. Can Sheffield United produce a monstrous comeback on the opening day of the Championship season here at Bramall Lane? You'd have to say, so far, it doesn't look like it.
We think back to those playoff semi-finals on an aggregate of 6-0, different managers, different teams, but maybe that's one stored up for Bristol City, that they wanted that little bit of revenge.
Here's Sariki, puts in the ball. It's a nice ball in, and it's headed wide in the end. And that was the substitute just getting a touch on that, Tom Cannon, when he diverts it wide of the target, and it remains 4-1.
Yeah, it just trickles through to Cannon, doesn't it? It's O'Hare initially that probably looked in the better position in the middle of the box, but I just think in terms of, because of the pace of the ball and the defender in front of him, he couldn't quite see it to try and get his head on it. It just flies past his face.
Ball thumped downfield, skims off a Sheffield United head, and it's got Twine and Emil Rees give chase. It was Emil Rees who got to it. Twine now closing down, but they play nicely through. Here's Peck. Peck now gets the ball away. Cannon looking to get in behind. It's cleared partially away. And even then, when they got it wrong, it was Hirakawa's clearance that went right across the face of his goal, but it found a blue shirt. And forward come Bristol City again, who at the moment can do no wrong. They lead by 4-1.
I think that's fortunate as well, because if that Hirakawa clearance lands to a Sheffield United player, Vitek was off his line. So, but as you say, when it's going right for you, it's going right. They're definitely in a purple patch now, Bristol City.
Yeah, they are. But Sheffield United are getting a little bit more of the ball. They've got to start to do something with it. There's still time, 28 minutes left here on Talksport 2. Mark Wilson, Courtney Sweetman, Kirk with you here. But the Blades have been frustrating at every turn. Look at Gerhard Struber telling his team to get out, push up high and squeeze this Sheffield United attacking line, but they might try and get in behind, but McCrory did well, read the danger, advances forward, then gets a hand in the back. Only too happy to fall to the ground, and that's a cheap free kick as they come for Bristol City, and just what they were looking for. Well, Harmer and O'Hare are going to have to really get going here if Sheffield United are going to get anything out of that. You mentioned before when we got the teams 75 minutes before kickoff that you were worried for Sheffield United, and you were proved right to be.
Yeah, and it's, as I say, a bit of a makeshift back line. I think the way that they're looking to play anyway does lend you to be a little bit more open in that defence, and you hope that, you know, you're basically asking your team to, as you always do, obviously score more goals than you concede, but it's a bit more of an impetus when you know that you're going to concede a few because of the way that you're playing, and that coupled with, the makeshift defence. And let's not take anything away from Bristol City. They've been brilliant. They have been excellent on the counter-attack. There have been times where they've possessed the ball. They've been so clinical. So let's not say this is Sheffield United being poor. This is obviously a Bristol City team as well. The Robins being very good, but it's going to have to change very quickly now for the Blades. It really is, going forward in this season.
Yeah, early days, but worrying signs. Doom and gloom across Sheffield. We'll find out how the blue and whites get on tomorrow. Sheffield Wednesday, live at Leicester. Team who might have problems of their own to come as well. 4:30 start live on Talksport 2. And now a problem for Bristol City, have given away a free kick over on the far side. They need, if they can get one back, maybe in the next 10 minutes, they'll still feel there's enough time for them to turn it around. Yeah, and obviously then does that put a little seed of doubt into the minds of the Robins players. So of course, that next goal is crucial. It gets to 5-1, it's game over. In all essence, it probably is game over now, but you want to put a bit of panic into that Bristol City side. Yeah, certainly do. Ball going to be swung in by Sheffield United. It might fall. The flag's gone up. Harmer hits it first time. It went over anyway. It wouldn't have counted. Harmer's frustrated with the offside flag, but he missed the target. What's the point in arguing? Well, exactly. And I think he was offside, in an offside position when that ball comes across. I think it's the initial header. Either way, doesn't look good in terms of, yes, you're making that big gesture, but when it flies about 20 foot over the bar, it doesn't really matter. No, that's right. You've got 25 remaining here, and it is a brilliant start to the season for Bristol City. They lead by 4-1. Reminder, Carabao Cup action, Super Cup action and Premier League action all to come in the next 7 days across the Talksport network. You want to get that Talksport app downloaded so you don't miss any of the action. There's a ball turned over high up the field. Bristol City get it back again. They'll come back to halfway. They just look more incisive at the moment. Second half, the Blades just haven't got going. They were so good at the latter part of that first 45, but second half, they've not landed a blow. I think that early goal just took a lot
out of them. I think it was a real sucker punch, and that's the problem, especially when you concede an early goal, whether it be in the first half or the second half. You come out with this game plan, you know what you're going to do, and that completely changes how you approach the game. And I think, especially to make it 3-1, it's then a big deficit to come back from, and they've just never really recovered from it.
No, they haven't. And now the ball is with the Blades. What can they do here? Cannon made a run down the right, but there was never a look for him. So he'll come back into shape on this right-hand side. And these will be worrying opening moments for Ruben Selles. Bristol City at the moment are just squeezing the life out of Sheffield United. They're chasing the game, but they don't look capable of landing a punch at the moment. Yes, they've played a few hopeful balls over the top, but Bristol City have dealt with those by and large pretty well.
Yeah, they've been quite clever, Bristol City. They've dropped Hirakawa and McCrory back in, so it's a back five. It's hard to break down.
Well, here's O'Hare on the forward run, can't find the pass. Many will feel they should have had a shot. He's going to win it back though, edge of the area. He might have a shot now. He will have a shot, and he puts it wide. Keeper had it covered, but it is a shot on target, shot at goal at least, even though it's just wide of the target. Still 4-1 Bristol City lead, quarter of the game remaining.
You can't blame him. At least he's trying to influence the game. Wins the ball back in a high area yet again, something he's so good at on the turn. Yes, the shot's off target, but for me, because he's created it and he's working hard, he deserves to have that opportunity.
Yeah, certainly does. Ball played forward by the visitors here, and it's out for a throw into Bristol City. Another goal for them, and this is done. I think Bramall Lane will be empty if they score again here, Bristol City, but not to be at the moment. Throw in midway inside the Sheffield United half. They're taking their time. They're in no rush. They lead by 3. Opening day of the season might be about to become 4. Mehmeti feeds it through. Chance here for Twine, leaves it, and it's blazed over. And that was a huge chance for Emil Rees to score on his debut, and there were 2 of them queuing up there. That should have been 5-1.
Should have been. And they play it really well yet again. Bristol City winning it high up the pitch, making something of it, an opportunity. Mehmeti, really cute little ball, and again it comes from the fact that Hirakawa is providing the width, then it's making Sheffield United panic, and then it's the little cute one outside of the foot. And Twine, I think he's gone down with maybe a little knock or a little bit of cramp. I think it's fortunate the way that it falls to Rees in the end, as Twine initially gets on the end of it, and he's got his face in his hands after the shot because he knows he should be at least hitting the target.
Well, I think if he does hit the target, it would have been a goal. Simple as that. Rees might not get many better chances than that today, but he has put that one over the top. Reminder earlier on this afternoon, Charlton get a win on their return. They've beaten Watford. A really late goal for Harvey Nibbs, 94th minute, 1-0 down at the Valley. Coventry Hull played out a 0-0 draw. Southampton left it mighty late, didn't they? Ryan Manning's wonderful free kick cancelled out Josh Windass first half penalty, and then Jack Stevens poked in from close range to make it 2-1 in the 96th minute. Middlesbrough 1-0 winners over Swansea. Del Fry's goal. Millwall won 2-1 at Norwich, and Portsmouth won 1-0 at Oxford. QPR Preston shared the spoils. Stoke beat Derby 3-1, and West Brom on Talksport 2 earlier on beat Blackburn by a 1-0. We're about to see some changes for the visitors, and we are going to see Sam Bell come on. And it is Twine who goes off, but look, he's had a really good day, hasn't he?
Exactly, he's more than played his part. I think there's a little bit of cramp in there, and he went down quite swiftly in the box just a couple of moments ago. And it's, when you're 4-1 up, there's only 20 minutes left of the game. That's the right thing to do, especially how well he's played today. From a perspective for Bristol City, you want to wrap him up in cotton wool.
Yeah, you do indeed. As the Blades have it, 20 minutes remaining, trailing by 4-1. What can they conjure up here? One on the far side wins a throw. He looks a tall character, doesn't he, over on that far touchline. He's noticeably bigger than his opponent, but not really featured since he came on. Blades, I think you're right. I think they've just been punched that hard in the gut. I just don't think they've recovered from it, have they? They just look second best.
Yeah, and sort of the runs they're making, it's not necessarily with a lack of effort, but maybe with a lack of thought process in terms of the run that Cannon makes on the right-hand side there. It's a straight run. You're never going to get the ball there.
Where's One now? Tries to pull it back. Gets the second bite of the cherry. Can he find a teammate? Good skill. Floats the ball across goal. It's headed behind. Good work. Good defence there. Atkinson it was, who's in the right spot in the 6-yard box to knock it out for a corner. And Bristol City happy to see the danger averted now. Corner. Burrows will take it. Just going to swing it in left-footed. Looking now to try and turn this game back in favour of Sheffield United. Ball towards the penalty spot. Robinson is there, and the header from Bindon, but referee had already blown the whistle. I think there was a push involved there, and that means that it's a free kick for Bristol City and more valuable seconds eroded from the clock.
I think that was always going to be difficult anyway, regardless, because yes, it's accurate onto the head of Bindon. There's no pace on that ball. It's floated in by Burrows, and 10-12 yards out, having to generate that pace, it's going to be so difficult to beat the goalkeeper from there.
Yeah, ball played forward by Vitek. He's not the strongest, is he? I've seen he's bowled it out a couple of times, and a couple of times he's cleared it away, and he's struggled to keep it in play or get it over the halfway line, and that might be an Achilles heel moving forward. Here now going forward is Cannon, but Vitek this time is decisive, and his ball is over halfway, and it's brought down with 73 on the clock by Sheffield United, who just at the moment are just struggling to find an inroad. Here is Tyrese Campbell, and again Vitek decisive, just side foots it out for a throw-in, and it's easy for Bristol City now. They don't need to do anything other than get the ball out of play and just take more seconds out of the game.
Yeah, they're very comfortable. They're happy to see both sides of it, whether it means sitting in and defending or whether possessing the ball for a period of time and keeping it away from the blade. So they're in a very comfortable position right now, and now we're getting closer to that 75-minute mark, and a comeback looks very unlikely.
Hirakawa, who was just taking a bit of treatment. Long throw coming in here from Jack Robinson. Ball going to be hurled into the box in front of the Kop end. It's flicked away by the visitors. It falls on the volley, and Harmer might be one of the best technicians in the game, but he thumps that one high and wide into the Kop. No joy for the Blades. 74 gone, they trail 4-1. Another change here, and this is Sam McCallum coming on for Femi Sariki. He's worked hard up and down that right-hand side, but just not quite worked out for him so far.
Yeah, and he did well in the first half in terms of getting forward, but as you say, just as the game's got away from Sheffield United, it's also got away from Sariki.
And now we are going to see, just mentioned there was a bit of a knock there for you, Hirakawa. He's going to make his way off, and Mark Sykes will make his way into the action. Well, what a start for those Bristol City fans who've made the trip up here. They would have been hoping for an element of revenge. They would never have envisaged that they were beaten by 3 here last time. They're winning by 3 this time.
Yeah, I think in terms of the way it's happened as well, it's been a bit of a topsy-turvy in the sense that, early start, fantastic free kick. There was a period of time where Sheffield United really controlled the game, but after that, it's been all about Bristol City and them, how clinical they've been.
Here's a chance for the Blades. Again, down that far side, finds Burrows, edge of the penalty area, lays it back. Need to find a cross. The cross is cleared away. Peck beaten to it, and the break's on here, and a race away now for Sam Bell, who's only got Bindon in front of him. There are blue shirts arriving. Bell goes on the outside, tightens the angle down, and in the end his cross is blocked and he's blown it. McCraw is furious. He's just raced about 70 metres to get with him, and he never looked to pass.
It's interesting there, because I mentioned about Robinson, the fact that he didn't start and the way that he gets left for dead there. He's obviously not fit, but the manager, because of what he's seen defensively, probably thinks he's in a better position than Norrington Davies was, but either way, he doesn't look right at all.
Ball now on halfway. Sheffield United running out of time, running out of ideas. Ball over on that far side. Blades attacking away to our right, but there's too many backwards passes at the moment. It's too easy for Bristol City. This has been some performance from them. Little flick pass, tries to find Cannon. He's denied. Ball blooms up in the air. Cannon goes down, gets a free kick. Level with the edge of the area, about 24 yards out. And it's on the right-hand side of the penalty box. And a chance here, and time now is starting to become the enemy as well as the scoreline.
This has got to go in the back of the net. If they've got any chance to get back into this game, it's as simple as that.
Harmer stands over it. There's a two-player wall in front of him. Mehmeti and the sub Sam Bell trying to keep the line of goal out of the eyes of Harmer. They're holding the penalty spot area, the remainder Bristol City defence. It's going to be a right-footed. Is he going to drill it? Is he going to float it? He floats it towards the far post. Keeper comes and collects. I'll tell you what, there's not a problem with Radek Vitek's hands, because everything that's gone in the box, he's got his hands on it.
Yeah, that's what you want from your goalkeeper, to feel safe, for them to come and command their area. And as soon as he starts his run to fly into the air to either come and punch or collect something, you feel really safe. And I think obviously that's such a positive for Bristol City. It just takes a knock on his way down there. He actually falls right on his back, so he's up now. But I think that obviously the Sheffield United fans behind him in the cot were moaning, think he's time wasting, but he does take a real knock when he comes down there.
Yeah, he did. He landed pretty heavily, didn't he? But he'll be pretty pleased with his opening game. Remember that stat that Max O'Leary's played every minute of the last 2 seasons in goal, so it is a big change, but they're going to be without him for quite a while, so they're going to have to get used to it. And Sheffield United, those 2 goals 6 minutes into the second half, have really knocked the wind out of them. A gut punch they couldn't recover from, it seems. And now it's just getting a bit bitty, and that suits Bristol City. They're in no rush. Every free kick is manna from heaven for them. It's another 30 seconds they can rub off the clock.
I don't think majority of the fans are sensing a comeback now, so they're starting to head for home.
Yeah, and that's the case. Is there a little bit more glory in it for them? They're on the attack now. Here's Emil Rees, he's turned Sam McCallum inside out there, and he still gets the cross in. It's brought down and will be cleared away and out on this near side. But, well, we've got the boxing next Saturday on Talksport. Couldn't, if this was a boxing match, the referee would have asked the Blades to throw the towel in now.
Yeah, the bell would have gone, they'd have called it long before now. And look, this isn't fatal. It's the start of the season. It can get better, but there's aspects of this performance that I think will really worry both Sellers, the players themselves, and also the fans, and it needs to change rather swiftly.
Yeah, not kidding there. This is a big problem. Here is Mehmeti. There was a goal at the start of the second half from Twine, gave Bristol City the lead. Wonderful free kick, 24 yards out. Top corner, Tyrese Campbell cancelled that out 14 minutes in, but when McCrory scored against the runner play on 26, it's been one-way traffic. Here though goes One on the far side. Can he keep it in? Just overruns it a little bit, and it's cleared away and out for a throw. And again, it's safety first football from Bristol City. No fancy tactics, just do the basics well, and they're going to be going home to Ashton Gate with more points. Sheffield United, a long throw for them. Going to hurl it into the area again. Vitek comes, and again he claims it. Too easy. Groan goes round Bramall Lane. Well, the Blades go to Birmingham in the League Cup on Wednesday night, and then they're away at Swansea next weekend. Millwall here, then Borough away, Ipswich away. It's a tough old start, isn't it, that for the Blades?
Yeah, tough start. And then there's the question in terms of the League Cup, how do you handle that when you've been beaten the way that you have today? You want to probably try and get a win regardless of the competition, but in terms of the injuries we've mentioned and getting players back fit, it's going to be a tough one to handle.
Yeah, it certainly is. Vitek clears his lines again, As for Bristol City, well, they've got the MK Dons at home, at Charlton at home next weekend, then they go to Derby and at home to Hull. That looks an entirely different proposition, doesn't it, for them? And there's another chance here. Mehmeti has got in behind, down to the byline, pulls it back, headed away. And it'll be out for a throw-in, will it? Oh, well, Mehmeti turned his back on it. He thought it was going out, and it's landed next to him and just stayed in the field of play, but he gets it back. But he can't find a teammate. Sheffield United get a little bit of luck, but it'll be scant consolation for them.
Yeah, don't mind that from Cannon, though. He's the one that doesn't give it up. It could have easily... you've seen players when they're 4-1 down, let that bounce out of play, but at least he's trying. The effort's there, and that's important.
Yeah, it is. And it's going to be, like you said, it's not devastating, but it will harm confidence, you feel, and it maybe will focus the mind as Mehmeti, if he's gone a yard too soon. He was played in, and he's got 40 yards of grass here. He didn't need to go offside, did he?
He didn't need to. He can see across the line. So frustrating. All he has to do is check his run, but he's half a yard offside. Doesn't need to be.
Well, here's another change, and it will be Sinclair Armstrong coming on. And he comes on for Emil Rees, and he's just down, stretching his hamstrings at the moment. He had that really big chance, didn't he, at 4-1. He'd be disappointed he couldn't turn that into the back of the net.
Yeah, and obviously, when you're that centre forward, you want the goal, but his all-round performance today, and at times the way he's run his channels, when realistically that's not really his game, but he's impressed me doing that today, and the way that he's getting in and round and providing for everyone else. So won't be happy that he's not scored, but should be happy with the rest of his performance.
Yeah, well, high fives all round on the Bristol City bench. Job done for them. They're about 7.5 minutes away from added on time. Looks like it's going to be another away win. Away winners this afternoon will just be Millwall and Bristol City in the Championship. The ball now on halfway. Don't forget, Carabao Cup action. We've got the Community Shield tomorrow live on Talksport, 3 o'clock. Adrian Durham, Sam Matterface and Dean Ashton, our team there for that one. As the Blades look to attack, but another ball cut out tomorrow. Leicester against Sheffield Wednesday, the 6th of our live commentaries from the Championship on the opening weekend of the season. Lots to come as well throughout the rest of the campaign, and Bristol City have got a foul right on halfway and an opportunity here to launch, if they want to, another attack.
Probably won't. Probably keep the ball. Just trying now, ride it out until that final whistle goes and go back home with 3 points.
Yeah, and a very comfortable 3 points as well. They would never imagined the manner in which they would have achieved victory here. They had a scare at 1-1. There were some big chances for Sheffield United. The keeper made a couple of good saves, but they just couldn't find a way through the Blades. Here now is Mehmeti, pulls it back edge of the box, coming together edge of the area. Referee will say that's a free kick for the Blades, and probably the correct decision there. As the ball is with Sheffield United, and we're inside the final 6 minutes here. All played across field. That's a decent looking pass, but back there defending, there might have been a nudge in the back. There was a handball there, and it's not yet cleared by Bristol City. It might fall to O'Hare. It'll fall to Harmer, who gets the ball away to O'Hare, edge of the area, lays it back, chance for the shot here. Harmer turns one way, then the other, finds O'Hare, he pirouettes on a sixpence, looking to work the ball free. It'll fall here, and a shot goes in. It's straight from Sam McCallum at VTech, and that was a good hit, and luckily for Bristol City it was straight at the keeper.
Yeah, lucky that it's at the keeper or doesn't get a deflection on the way through. But what impresses me about Bristol City is the way that they converge when Sheffield United players are around the box, and you market that in the difference between then the way Sheffield United have defended today and being too far away when the shots have come in from Bristol City, and yeah, that's really impressed me from the Robins.
Yeah, has indeed. Ball over on the far side, and here again comes Sheffield United, but another attack broken up. Armstrong bundled over as Peck tries to drive forward. Cooper came and then is told to go back by Robinson. And here now is an opportunity for Sheffield United to attack again. Well, Vitek has made a couple of good saves. He might be forced into action here. Campbell looks for the give and go. The pass from Harmon. It's just all a little bit fancy when maybe they just need to get some shots on goal. Now the break is on. Now the break is on for the visitors. And here forward goes Sam Bell. He advances into the area, feeds it to Mehmeti. Keeper comes out, forces him wide. Good touch. Then across to the far post. And well, Sinclair Armstrong at the back post never got off the ground, and that would have been a chance to head the ball into the net. Another break. And even despite the fact that Bristol City have sat back and defended most of the second half, they still look the most likely to score.
They're picking and choosing their moments when to go forward when they've got good numbers. And Sinclair Armstrong, though, for me, it disappointed me that it should at least try and jump. You might not get to the ball, but might drop differently. It might cause a bit of chaos. But the fact he doesn't even get off the ground there would be disappointing.
Yeah, certainly is. Ball now works its way across to McCallum. He was fouled. That was a pretty brutal foul there, wasn't it? A cynical foul, should I say, on the near side from Mark Sykes. And as time ticks by, any goal now is only a consolation. And it's been an afternoon of frustration. There were some really good bits in it for Sheffield United, but second half, very lacklustre. Ruben Sellers is stood on the edge of the technical area. Not the start he wanted here at Bramall Lane. Ball floated far post. Ball bounces. Surely someone's going to poke it in. And eventually it's pushed wide. What a block that is from Bristol City there. The ball was bobbling around in the edge of the area. Jason Knight somehow got a block on it to force it wide. It looked to be a certain goal there.
Yeah, it did. It's a diving header. I thought it might be the player on the line. It's Mark Sykes, but it isn't. It's the diving header from Knight. It's exceptional.
Yeah. And now Sheffield United have made a bit of a mess of a corner routine, and they're going to get another chance to take it now. Well, what a poor second half it's been for the Blades. Live on Talksport 2. Don't take anything away from Bristol City. They've been superb. Corner whipped in, near post, headed upwards. This is going to come down on the roof of the net. The keeper, Vitek, came to get it and didn't get it. And it lobs harmlessly over the bar in the end. Lands on the roof of the net. And it's another corner. I don't think the Bristol City fans realise that was another corner. They will get another go. And it is going to be swung in by Sheffield United. 89th minute. This is a good-looking ball to the far post, headed down, and surely Peck turns it in, and again Radek Vitek palms it away when it looks certain that Sheffield United had to score. Two glorious chances at the end. They might get another one here. O'Hare pulls it back, and it's cleared away. Sheffield United must be ruining their luck here, Corner. They just cannot get the ball in this second half.
Yeah, I think they'll probably... There's obviously elements of the game that needs to be better from them, but they'll probably look at this game and go, in terms of Bristol City, they've had a goalkeeper that's had a fantastic game. In terms of shot, they've only had 4 shots on target, Bristol City, and they've got 4 goals, 7 shots in total. When you look at obviously the stats and everything else for Sheffield United, obviously I know stats don't obviously make the game as a whole, and there's context in between it, but they'll be looking at this Sheffield United thinking, not sure how we've been beaten 4-1, especially on the context of the first half.
Yeah, well, it's all about taking your chances. One side did it today, the other failed miserably. And Bristol City fans now will be wondering how long he's going to be added on. It's going to be a great journey home for them. We've got bumper ticket sales for home games at Ashton Gate. And here comes the 4th official. Ruben Sellers might just be having a word saying, don't make it too many, please. Well, it's going to be 5. And as I said earlier, it's going to empty out pretty quickly. And with that announcement of 5 added on minutes, the majority of the crowd around us are making their way out. And there's a lot of red seats around Bramall Lane now. Well, hopes and dreams are high on day one of the season, but the Blades' hopes and dreams have taken a bit of a dent in the opening 90 minutes. 4-1 down at home, but for Bristol City, to be fair, they were outstanding right from the start. and they are fully deserving. They've done what they had to do second half. Once they went 4-1 up, and they've still had 2 great chances. Emil Rees blasted one over the bar when he should really hit the target and scored. And at the other end, Radek Vitek has made some great saves. And shown why Gerhard Struber picked him out. Ball into the area now. Another brave header. Well, they have done. They defended really well, haven't they, Bristol City? They've just got headers on it, bodies in front of balls. They've done the basics.
Yeah, it's been really impressive. Once they got to that 4, they've got really compact. They've brought the wing-backs right back, so it's effectively a 5 at the back. They've got really narrow, and there's been no room to play for Sheffield United. And as you say, then when the balls come in the box, they've just been quite happy to throw their bodies on the line.
Corner Sheffield United. Oh, referees now. This is one thing, he has been a little bit pedantic over the pushing and pulling. Now he tells them to get on with it. And now there's a chance for Sheffield United to put another corner in. Ball near post, and guess what? Bristol City head it away and go out for a throw in. I'm not sure entirely there why Sheffield United didn't keep that ball in. Here though is O'Hare. Got Burrows with him. O'Hare will get it back to Burrows. Burrows now will float it in towards the penalty area. Plenty of red and white shirts in there. O'Hare wins the header on the edge of the box, but it's cleared away. And one ball over the top here. Oh, didn't quite get hold of it there, the substitute Sykes, but they would have been in with Mehmeti clean on goal again. They're chancing their arm a little bit, Sheffield United, but they've been fortunate in some ways, Courtney, that Bristol City haven't been a little bit more ruthless on the break because they've had chances.
Yeah, they have. I think Emil Rees specifically, that ball there, I don't think Sykes is aware that Mehmeti is just clearing the ball. I think if he looks up, as you say, Mehmeti's clean through. He can't be offside because he's in his own half, and would have been another dangerous chance for the Robins.
It would have been. Ball over on the far side. Here comes Sheffield United again. Mooring hope now. 2.5 of the 5 added on minutes of play. Strong challenge goes in there. That was good defending from Tanner. And now the break is on again. Take your pick. And now clean through goes Sinclair Armstrong. And he's got support with him. He's in on goal to wrap it up in style. And the keeper makes a good save. Cooper down low to his left. That was sneaking in the near post, but Cooper puts it behind for a corner.
Sinclair Armstrong will be disappointed with that. There's options as well. He doesn't necessarily have to go for goal. He's got Sam Bell there with him, but in terms of Cooper, he's actually not had too much to do. It seems weird to say because he's conceded 4 goals, but that's a good stop. And with the things that he could stop, I think Michael Cooper's actually done okay.
Yeah, well, there might be some blades getting stuck into the game day phone in over on Talksport right now with Jason Cundy and Jermaine Pennant there taking all your calls on today's EFL action. That's up until 8 o'clock, then Fight Night with Adam Cattrall underway at 8. So get dialing the number 03717223344. You can also send them a WhatsApp voice note, your reaction on that very same number. Got the live golf following us here, the PGA Tour Golf, the FedEx St Jude Championship. That'll follow us here at Bramall Lane on what has been a bumper day of football in action. 4 live commentaries and all the goals as they go in, but well, we've had the most goals here, haven't we, in the Championship? 4-1 Bristol City. What a difference a few months make. Dumped out in the playoffs here back in May. They have come back with a bang, and hopes will be high that Bristol City are going to have another big season. As O'Hare is stopped by Randall, and here now again another break is on. Will they find the pass? Bristol City on the attack. Mehmeti now edge of the area. There are still 3 blue shirts with him, and that's going to be a free kick. McCallum. Well, if Scott Twine was on, I know it's wide of the target, but he'd fancy this as a potential hat-trick opportunity. This might be the last kick of the game. Will they have a shot at goal?
Why not? You're 4-1 up. 15 seconds left. It would effectively be the last kick of the game by the time it's taken. Why not have a go?
And it's Mehmeti has just scampered across. It's right on the 18-yard line. It's about 3 metres in from the left-hand side of the penalty area. Surely he's got to have a shot here. This would send that away and into absolute raptures. The 95 minutes have been played. 4-1. This would be icing on the cake for Bristol City. It'd be salt in the wound of Sheffield United. Anis Mehmeti stands over it. There's a 3-player wall in front of him. He goes for goal. He's hit it well, but he pulls it past the post. There are cheers at one end, but those that are left in red and white at Bramall Lane, it's boos on the opening day of the season. Scott Twine put Bristol City in front with a sublime free kick 5 minutes in. and he missed a chance to make it 2-0 shortly after. He was made to pay. Tyrese Campbell with a nice finish after beautiful footwork from Callum O'Hare. 1-1. Sheffield United were dominant, but then they got hit with a sucker punch after Emil Rees made a good break. Twine in support fed Ross McCrory, who drilled the ball across the keeper Cooper to make it 2-1, and it stayed that way at the break. And when Bristol City scored within 60 seconds of the second half after good work from Twine and Emil Rees, Anis Mehmeti was there to blast home past Cooper to make it 3-1. And when Twine added a deflected shot just 5 minutes after that, it was 4-1 with 40 minutes remaining. Bristol City came here at the end of last season and were dumped out of the playoffs by 6-0 on aggregate. They go a little way to putting that right this season with a 4-1 win. Bramall Lane is virtually empty in the home sections. This is not the start Ruben Sellés wanted. There are some big questions. They look light in defence. Courtney pointed out before a ball was kicked. And on another day, this could have been 5 or 6. It could have been even more. Such was the dominance that Bristol City had. This is a worrying opening day performance from Sheffield United.
Yeah, it is. I don't want to get too carried away on both ends. It's the first game of the season. It'll be very disappointing for Sheffield United. I think there's no doubt, even before a ball was kicked, that they need to get defenders through the door. And if anything, maybe not. It's not a good thing. But in terms of the messages that's going from Sellés maybe up to the hierarchy, that will very much highlight that need for the defenders, if they didn't already know. In terms of Bristol City, I thought they were excellent, a fantastic performance, the tempo that they started with. And you're pointing out quite rightly to me, Mark, in terms of they've been pulled into a huddle in the middle of the pitch, Sheffield United.
Yeah, the Blades players are just in a huddle. What do you imagine is being said in that?
Yeah, very much a dressing down, and you can see Sellés is not happy. I think he's asking the players obviously to go and thank the remaining fans, of which there aren't many. But let's go back to Bristol City. They've played extremely well, very clinical. The XG charts must be absolutely through the roof if you prescribe to that sort of stuff, but very clinical. And yes, don't get me wrong, does this mean, I think they're actually top of the table. Does this mean they're going to go and win the championship? Probably not. As I say, you can't go on this first game, but it's very positive. As a new manager, to get this first win with a lot of changes in the team, it is positive for them, but they've obviously got to carry it on.
I'm just looking at Radek Vitek there. He's been dancing in front of the away fans. His manager's been stood behind him applauding the fans. I think Gerhard Struber wanted him to move out of the way, but he didn't, did he? He thought they were all clapping him, so he kept on clapping them back. But Gerhard Struber back with a bang in South Yorkshire. Worked a minor miracle up the road at Barnsley on his last foray into English football. But he'll be pleased. They've got players missing as well, Bristol City. They're going to strengthen naturally. The window's going to be interesting, isn't it, now for Sheffield United? You made out there'll have been chats about, look, we need this, we need that. There's also the possibility, the likes of Callum O'Hare, your likes of Gustavo Harmer, they could be picked off, and then Sheffield United are in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not just about your incomings and what you're trying to bring in, it's the fact that you're trying to keep your best players as well, which is always a difficult one when, if rumours are to be believed, as you say, for the likes of O'Hare and Harmer, there's people sniffing around them. So, look, it's a difficult day, and this one will hurt. Losing hurts anyway, but when you lose in this manner and you look at the scoreboard and you see that scoreline, it hurts, but they've got to make sure, Sheffield United, they go on and work hard to try and rectify it. But for Bristol City, have to give them all the credit for the way that they've played, and they very much deserve to take that 3 points back to Bristol.
The live football continues tomorrow. Liverpool take on Crystal Palace. Community Shield live from Wembley. It's live on Talksport. 3 o'clock start. Adrian Durham, Sam Manterface and a former England striker, Dean Ashton. 4:30 we're live over at the King Power. Leicester take on Sheffield Wednesday. Live and exclusive Talksport 2. Jim Proudfoot and the former Arsenal midfielder Adrian Clark. Tuesday we're around the grounds. Carabao Cup special with Adrian Durham. Courtney will be there as well with Scott Minto and Mickey Gray. All the goals as they go in. Bromley Ipswich will be our live tie over here on Talksport 2. Jim Proudfoot and Darren Ambrose, the team there. And on Wednesday we're live at Huddersfield. They take on Leicester. Carabao Cup first round action live on Talksport 2. Commentary from Ian Danter and the former Leicester man Mark Albright. And the small matter of Paris Saint-Germain against Tottenham. Super Cup action live on Talksport. Adrian Durham will be joined by Jim Proudfoot and the former Republic of Ireland captain Andy Townsend. That's all building up to the big kick-off in the Premier League. The champions Liverpool get the Premier League season underway on Friday night. They take on Bournemouth. It's live and exclusive on Talksport. Adrian will be there with Joe Shannon and Dean Ashton for that one. Our thanks to Courtney Sweetman-Kirk here tonight. Don't forget, you can get your calls into the game day phone in. Jason Cundy and Jermaine Pennant taking your calls on all today's EFL action. That's on until 8. Then it's Fight Night with Adam Cattrall underway at 8 o'clock. Number you need if you want to dial in, 03717 223344. There'll be some pretty happy Bristol City fans, I'm sure, getting in touch on Talksport. There might just be a few disgruntled blades as well. Opening Saturday of the championship season is done and dusted, and the biggest winners by far were here at Bramall Lane, but it wasn't the home team. It ended Sheffield United 1, Bristol City 4.